You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Let the good times roll with the fun of Kernel Baseball in The Zone.
Bring your family, bring your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you're at the game. The good times roll. Hey, hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Beat around the Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
And welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium, Eastern Iowa, and a special welcome to all of you who are listening from coast to coast on the Internet. The Kernels have had a topsy-turvy go of it in the second half of the Western Division race. 6 straight wins were a part of the season just a short time ago, and following that impressive winning streak, the Kernels have now hit the skids a bit and have lost 4 in a row, but we're still above 500 at 11-9 and still right in the thick of things in our quest to nail down a playoff berth by virtue of a good second half. The Kernels are 11-9, are in third place in the Western Division second half standings, 3 games back now of the division-leading swing of the Quad Cities, and 1 game behind the second place Kane County Cougars. Those are 2 teams the Kernels will have to finish in front of in order to make the postseason. On the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, prior to our second game of 3 with the Clinton LumberKings, we're going to talk with the wife of a baseball scout. Gerald Turner is here, and he's a scout with the Kansas City Royals. And an interesting story, Gerald's wife, Kathy, is along with him, and that's not unusual. Kathy has adapted very well to her new life as a baseball wife, so to speak, of scout Gerald Turner. Up next, we'll have a visit with Kathy Turner on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications Triple Play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
A special look inside the world of baseball scouting from a perspective we've never had before. The wife of Kansas City Royals scout Gerald Turner is Kathy Turner, and she and Gerald travel together on many of Gerald's scouting trips, and we're pleased to have Kathy with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Kathy, I thought the first thing our listeners would really get a kick out of is hearing how you and Gerald, who were high school classmates, found each other later in life now.
Well, I couldn't believe it, but I read about him in our high school alumni newsletter, and he sounded so interesting and like he had a sense of humor. And one of the things he said was he watches baseball games for a living, and I thought, oh, this guy's got to be interesting. So I sent him an email, and the rest is history.
It's amazing, Kathy, and it gives bachelors like me hope that maybe out down the road someday I'll run into such good fortune. And I credit you for taking the leap of faith or the risk of emailing Gerald and saying you'd like to meet him. Now, you're from Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's a good old Texas boy. Did you email each other, or did you meet in a neutral city to have dinner, or how did it evolve from that into what is now a wonderful marriage?
My parents were from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and when I was 6, we moved to Dallas for better weather, and my father was a civil engineer, so he liked the sunny weather in Dallas, and so actually I consider myself pretty much a Texan, although I was born a Yankee.
You were born north of the Mason-Dixon line. Well, Kathy, I know that a lot of scouts have the challenge of maintaining a spouse or a family, and it's not an easy challenge in this great game of baseball. In fact, I'm reading a book about Tony La Russa now, and he's had to make some real tough decisions regarding his family to make sure it all works. You're here with Gerald. How often do you travel with him on his scouting ventures?
Well, as often as I can. I do work part-time, and so I have that I have to do, but our kids are grown and gone now, so we have the chance to be together occasionally, and he's lovely to travel with. He always makes it really interesting, so I enjoy going with him when I can.
It is interesting traveling around the Midwest and places I don't even get to go that Gerald gets to, but I've been in this Midwest League 10 years, and I love getting to go to some of the various places across the Midwest. And one thing I try to do is get out of the baseball mode for an hour or two every day and do something in the community. And I think you discovered a treasure earlier this morning here in Cedar Rapids with Gerald.
We sure did. We love to go out and investigate the city, and we love the history in the different areas, and we went to the Brucemore today and just found it to be beautiful.
You went to Brucemore. Now, they are a real big supporter of professional baseball. Their executive director, Peggy Whitworth, and their assistant, Jim Kern, are great friends of the Kernels. And I wondered what few lasting impressions Brucemore made on you. First of all, did you get a formal tour? And second of all, did you get to see the grounds surrounding the mansion?
We sure saw the grounds. We walked through them for a little bit, and then we went in for the tour, and the lady was lovely and explained the history to us of the family and how they moved in there and what they did and some of the innovations the woman of the house made before they were even available, like hot water into the bathrooms and flushing toilets before their time, 1896, I believe. Or was it 1886? 96. I couldn't believe it. And she made a sunlight in one of the upper rooms to add light into the hallway.
Kathy Turner is with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. She's beaming about her recent marriage to Gerald Turner, scout of the Kansas City Royals, and Kathy travels with Gerald as often as she can. They visited Brucemore earlier today, and Kathy, you and Gerald also, you don't like just sitting around a motel or hotel room. You like to get out and keep up with your fitness.
Yes, we both need to, so we do it as often as we can. And we both love to walk, so we find the local parks or walk along the rivers. And when it's too hot to walk outside, we find the mall and walk through the mall. Enjoy meeting the people and seeing all the different parts of the country this way.
You said you were intrigued reading the alumni bulletin from your high school that Gerald described himself as a guy who gets paid to watch baseball games throughout the year. You must have been a real baseball aficionado, a real expert.
Oh, no, I didn't. I do not know one thing about baseball, but it's fun learning, and I enjoy going to the games and being out in the sunshine.
Do you root for a particular team? Or we hope you root for the Kernels, but you have no vested interest in our organization. What do you do during a game? Do you try to ask Gerald questions? Do you leave him alone to do his job? And do you root for a particular team?
I love to root for the home team wherever we're at home, and the Kernels have been fun for us in the past few years, and Gerald definitely picked up a few articles of clothing that had the Kernels on the front of it, and we love to wear those in different places where we travel, and people just come up from everywhere and ask us about what do we know about the Kernels and where are we from. And
that logo catches their eye, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does, and it's loads of fun to talk to different people from all over that know about the Kernels.
We're talking to Kathy Turner, the wife of Kansas City Royal scout Gerald Turner, about the wife of a scout, and we'll have a final word with Kathy from the ballpark on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show following this. Here in the Zone.
To make your landscaping dreams become a reality, see the experts at Keen's Material. Retaining walls, custom patios, walkways, and steps, Keen's Material has all the hardscape elements needed to complete your landscaping project. Need ideas? Visit Keen's Outdoor Display Area on 12th Avenue Southwest to see over 100 products showcased. Let your property reach its full potential with help from the experts at Keen's Material. Visit Keen's in Cedar Rapids, Coralville, and Eldridge, or on the web at keensmaterial.com.
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro-seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
Kathy Turner's with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. She's the wife of Kansas City Royal Scout Gerald Turner. And Kathy, you sound like the kind of person who might keep a journal or a log of all the places you've traveled, and maybe you have or haven't, but are there a couple of places in addition to Cedar Rapids, which you mentioned before the break, that you really enjoy coming here? Where are some of your other favorite spots to visit with Gerald on his scouting trips?
Well, the ball fields are beautiful all over the country. Texas has some really pretty ones, but we found that the people in the Midwest just really love their baseball. And St. Charles has a beautiful park also, but I think that Cedar Rapids really has one of the most beautiful parks we've ever been in.
Well, thank you. Are you talking about St. Charles, Missouri?
No, Illinois.
Oh, St. Charles, Illinois. Okay. Oh, the Kane County Cougars. Yes, Geneva, Illinois. Kane County. Well, they draw those huge, enthusiastic crowds.
We had an amazing day there one afternoon when it was Kitty Day, and all the kids from the daycare centers came, and you have never seen a crowd like that before, and every single one of them with blown-up beaters rooting for their team.
Oh, that is memorable, and Kane County Philip Elstrom Stadium draws lots of kids. Well, finally, Kathy Turner, when Gerald signs a kid, we all know that scouts are wrong more than they're right. You better remember that as a scout, or you won't last as long as Gerald has. Yet you do have the joy of seeing some kids that you sign, you spot, you sign, you nurture, you talk to, you encourage, make it big, or make it to the big leagues. And does Gerald share those success stories with you?
Oh, yes, and he listens to his boys on the internet.
Guys he signed.
Yeah, the men he signed, he listens to them on the internet every night, and it's just like each one is his favorite player as he watches how they do and how they get better and what their ERA is and how they manage when they're on the field.
Well, Kathy, this has just been a delight for our listeners to hear what it's like to be the wife of one of the most demanding professions in life, and that is baseball scouting. That you are on the road constantly, and it's just a joy to see how much you and Gerald enjoy this time together at this point in your lives, and thank you for reflecting on what it is like to stand in the shoes as the wife of a professional baseball scout.
Thank you, John, and we wish the Kernels all the best and all the luck this year.
Well, thank you. We'll take that wish. Kathy Turner and Gerald Turner, we want to present each of you with a certificate good for a meal at any of our Zio Giano's spaghetti houses. For the hometown taste of Italy, Zio Giano's is tops in the Cedar Rapids area. Again, Kathy and Gerald, thank you both so much for sharing this look inside your world. It's been real fun.
Thank you, John, and the best of luck to you, too.
Thank you so much. That's Kathy Turner, wife of Kansas City Royal Scout Gerald Turner, our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest this evening. Up next, the Kernels are out to square their three-game series with the Clinton LumberKings at a game apiece with the victory tonight. Hall of Fame sportscaster Bob Brooks and I will set the starting lineups when we return here in the Zone.
Summer is a perfect time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center has the finest quality flowers and plants for both indoors and out. Plus, as always, all the expert advice you need to make your plants grow their best. Whether it's a single fresh flower or an entire wedding, a single household plant or a yard of landscaping, Peck's does it all. Family-owned and serving Eastern Iowa since 1956. We've been proud supporters of Kernels baseball for over 10 years. Peck's offers you the best plants and flowers available. Peck's is also your professional FTD and teleflorist florist with a certified garden, nursery, and landscaping center. Peck's is your year-round growing center and flower headquarters. Stop in for Peck's Fresh Flower Feature, Fresh-cut short-stem roses, just $9.95 a dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast.
It's another warm, sunny evening in the city of Five Seasons, and the Kernels are out to avenge an 11-5 pounding that they suffered last night at the hands of the Clinton LumberKings, the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Texas Rangers. Welcome into the zone at Veterans Memorial Stadium with Bob Brooks alongside. I'm John Rogers. The Kernels have let their second-half record slip to 11-9, suffering their fourth defeat in a row in the series opener with Clinton here last night. The LumberKings have taken 3 of 5 from the Kernels in this ballpark so far this season. Let's set the starting lineups for the second game of the 3-game set, the 6th meeting between the Kernels and the Texas Ranger minor leaguers from Clinton. Their skipper is Carlos Subero. He's a highly successful young skipper from the country of Venezuela, and Subero guided the LumberKings into the playoffs last year in his first year at the helm with Clinton. Leading off for the LumberKings, a product of the University of Illinois, Brandon Cashman in center field. He homered here last night. Tug Hulett is at second base, and Hulett will bat second for Clinton. He's fourth in the league with an on-base percentage of .414. Switch hitting designated hitter Brandon Boggs will hit third for the LumberKings this evening. It's Emerson Frostad, the cleanup batter at third base. Catching is Craig Herba. Herba's catching, and he's playing his 7th game as a LumberKing. Hitting sixth and playing right field for Clinton is Billy Susdorf. Susdorf in right hit sixth. He homered here last night. Batting seventh, Andrew Wishy in left field. The LumberKing first baseman hitting eighth is Ian Gack, G-A-C. And Casey Benjamin will hit ninth and play shortstop for the LumberKings. On the hill for Clinton is a 19-year-old 6'7" right-hander, Michael Schlacht, S-C-H-L-A-C-T. Schlacht was taken in the third round by the Rangers last year out of high school in Marietta, Georgia. Michael Schlacht is making his 18th start of the year. The 19-year-old is 1-6 and lost 4 and an earned run average of 4.26. He was a 6-2 winner his last time out. That was Friday at Alliant Energy Field in Clinton. He was a 6-2 winner in his last start. Allen Motor Company is always proud to bring us the Kernel starting lineup. Good news, and maybe you've heard, the historic offer from General Motors has been extended through August 1st at Allen Motor Company, and that offer is for you to receive the same pricing as General Motors employees. That's right, you get the General Motors employee discount. It was such a successful offer that General Motors extended it to August 1st, and Allen Motor Company is open late, Monday through Friday, to accommodate your needs. They're open till 9, including tonight. You pay what General Motors employees pay, not 1 cent more, and that General Motors employee discount makes it a fabulous time to visit the campus, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. With the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, here's our broadcasting friend and colleague, Hall of Famer Bob Brooks.
It's another great night for a ball game. Now, this is my kind of weather. I don't know whether it's your kind of weather, John.
Having grown up in St. Louis, yes, indeed
yes,
it is, Bob.
It is.
Yes.
As we get the dream team coming on the field, and Cedar Rapids tries to get a victory here tonight to end a 4-game losing streak. The Clinton LumberKings are the opponents, so this is the Kernel batting order for tonight. Casilla at second base. Rodriguez at short. Collins, the catcher. Toussaint in left field. Sandoval at third. Giannotti in center. Rentz, the DH. Madrigal in right field. Walston at first base. And the pitcher tonight is Carl Yelena. He's won 5, lost 5, has an ERA of 3.57, has given up 8 home runs in 85 2/3 innings, 99 hits, 38 strikeouts, 12 walks. That's a low total versus 85 innings plus, and he has started some 14 games. 5-5. He hopes tonight to make it 6-5 on the year. Kernels need it badly. This is a night, John, where you've got to have a stopper.
Yeah, and Carl, with that low walk total, is hopefully just the guy the Kernels can turn to. The Kernels hit the diamond to join the Cost Cutters Dream Team that Bob told you about. The Cost Cutters Dream Team are in uniform. They're in their red jerseys and their red caps. The Kernels in their white home uniforms with navy blue hats and red bills. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, the official eye care and provider of the Kernels, brings us the announcement of our umpires. Mike Lusky will call the balls and strikes. Jason Creek will be on the diamond. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, they've moved to their new location on Boyson Road, just west of I-380, and they're now a full-service eyewear provider. That means you can select from a wide array of glasses in addition to contact lenses at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Time now to pause and honor America with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. The national media, justifiably so, has been focusing on Michelle Wee, the 15-year-old golfer, and the girl that sang the national anthem, I believe, 12-year-old Olivia Ferguson. What a great job Olivia Ferguson did singing the Star-Spangled Banner. As Bob said, the Kernels are in desperate need of a stopper. Carl Jelen is on the hill. Can Carl be the fellow that helps the Kernels reverse their fortunes? A ball club that won 6 in a row is now in a 4-game losing skid, hoping to break it tonight against Clinton. Stay tuned for the fun of Kernel baseball here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Let's review our umpires, brought to us by Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Before we get underway this evening, the game time temperature 87 degrees, and it's Mike Lusky calling the balls and strikes. His partner on the diamond is Jason Creek. Carl Jelena evened his record at 5-5 thanks to a 5-2 win in Davenport last Friday night. That would help the Kernels streak to their 6th win in a row. Little did we know that the next 4 Kernel games would be losses. Jelena pitched 6 innings Friday in Davenport and gave 2 runs to the swing, none earned on 6 hits. Carl struck out 3, walked 1, and he's making his 15th start of the year. The first man he'll face is from the University of Illinois, 25-year-old Brandon Cashman. Cashman last night homered in the 6th inning. It was his 6th of the year. He was 2 for 5. Right-handed hitter with a .250 average, Brandon Cashman. And Bob just dropped a bombshell on me. If you were with us last evening, and you know we have fun with our nightly Colonel Did You Know question, last night's subject was Mickey Owen. And Jelena's first pitch is high for ball 1. Well, we talked about Mickey Owen pinch hitting and homering in the 1942 All-Star game to help the National League win 1-0. Cashman takes low and away ball 2, and then Mickey Owen didn't hit one home run in the regular season other than the pinch hit home run to win the All-Star game. And then Bob reminded us that he was the fellow that started the movement to Mexico as a protest over the salaries that the big leaguers felt were unfair. A strike is called to Brandon Cashman, and lo and behold, Bob, shocking news that you shared with me moments ago.
Yes, Mickey Owen passed away during last night's ball game, as a matter of fact, the age of 89.
My goodness. Cashman's late on a 2-1 pitch and swats it over the Miller Mezzanine Terrace for strike 2. That is something.
When I heard that today, I thought, well, did I miss something John said last night? And
that's eerie, Bob.
That is.
Of course, our hearts go out to Mickey's surviving relatives and friends. And no, we had no idea Mickey Owen was in any kind of health trouble, and perhaps he wasn't. It could have been just an untimely passing. Ball 3 is high to the Clinton leadoff batter, and Carl Jelena's 3-2 pitch to Cashman. And it's nubbed foul just to the left of the plate. Michael Collins popped out of his catching squad and retrieves it to the left of the plate. We're just underway here on a beautiful evening. Bob, you said this is your favorite kind of night, and I didn't give you a chance to explain why this is appealing to you.
Well, we have a nice breeze blowing in. The temperature is 88, 89 degrees, 87 on your thermometer. That's official.
A high drive into left, and Drew Toussaint has a couple of steps back, now a couple of steps in, and Drew makes the play on Brandon Cashman's fly ball, and early on we get a good indication that Carl Jelena might just be the pitcher that helps the Kernels out of this 4-game rut. He ran the count full to Cashman and then got him to fly to left. I think Carl got in on the hands of Brandon Cashman. Now the plate umpire's coming out, and he's asking Carl Jelena to move the rosin bag further back behind the mound. It was apparently distracting the batter, Tug Hulett. Freddy Sandoval's playing well off the line at third as Hulett, a left-handed batter with an open stance, looks at strike 1 on the outside corner, a fastball. Tug is hitting .278, but don't let that batting average fool you. It's a great batting average, but his on-base percentage is even better, .414, 4th highest in the league, and Hulett fouls the next one into the screen. He's in the hole, 0-2.
Jelena is 6'4", 200-pounder, was at Provo last year, and is trying to keep moving up.
Strike 3 called. Tug Hulett is actually talking to himself and shaking his head. He was done in on a slider from the Colonel right-hander, and Carl Jelena gets Tug Hulett looking on just 3 pitches, and 2 gone here in the Clinton first inning. Brandon Boggs, a switch hitter with a .279 average, was productive last night. He was 2 for 4. He scored 2 of the LumberKing 11 runs. Boggs has 7 homers, 26 runs driven in, a 22-year-old who went to Georgia Tech. So he was probably a teammate of Peoria Chief second baseman Eric Patterson. Didn't have a chance to ask you, Bob, with all the hoopla around the All-Star game, but Dusty Baker made a decision right before the All-Star break and, in essence, sent Corey Patterson down to Des Moines, the I-Cubs, I suppose, either to get some more seasoning or to get his head on straighter.
Well, they also sent him down to apparently shorten his stroke a bit, change his swing, plus his attitude, I'm sure. And I would think before too long he will be back, yes, because he's too good to keep in Des Moines.
A 2-1 pitch, and it's a swing and a miss as Carl Jelena ran a fastball to the outside of the plate. The left-handed batter pulled off of it, and that was a very good pitch from Carl. We can see even from up here that Carl Jelena has good movement on his pitches. The 2-2 to Boggs, and it's drilled foul into the Colonel right field bullpen past big Chris Walston. That ball was smashed hard by Boggs.
Boy, that's a wonderful deal that Des Moines and the Cubs have, because here they've had Kerry Wood there, they've had Pryor. They're going to get Garcia Parra for sure, and when he's ready to come back.
A 2-2 pitch is hammered on one hop into right. Warner Madrigal thought about trying to throw to first. That ball was hit so hard, but Boggs is aboard with a line drive single into right with 2 out here in the first inning. No score. The LumberKings are tied for 7th in the league in hitting, 7 out of 14 teams. They're batting .256, but here in this ballpark, in the 5 games between our two teams, Twinton is hitting .304. Emerson Frostad, the cleanup batter. Emerson is from British Columbia, and he played for Lewis and Clark State. That's an NAIA powerhouse. Strike one to the left-handed batter Frostad. We talked about the Midnight Sun game a few weeks ago up in Fairbanks, Alaska. Well, this fella Frostad played in the Alaska Summer League for the Fairbanks.
He's got the name for it.
Yes, Permafrost and Frostad. They go hand in hand in Alaska. And Frostad steps out. He played for the Fairbanks Gold Panners. Ah, the old gold rush, the Klondikes. 0-1 to Frostad. This crowd is still settling in, and they're very, very quiet right now. I think they're enjoying the great conditions that Bob described. Sun is shining. The sky is a light blue, and there are no clouds at all. Light breeze blowing in. The runner at first, Boggs, has 6 steals in 9 tries, and he has a big lead being held by... There he goes! And a pitch is fouled away to the left over the stands, and a hit and run was on. It's 0-2 to Frostad. Bob, picking up on the demotion, if that's what we want to call it, of Corey Patterson. I remember Todd Zeal, when Joe Torre was the manager of the Cardinals. Todd Zeal, who had a couple of years of big league experience under his belt, had to be sent back down to Louisville at that time, the Cardinal AAA ball club.
Well, most players have had that happen to them. They have to get a little refresher course.
There goes the runner, and protecting him is Frostad. Emerson swung at a chin-high changeup and mashes it foul straight back. The Kernels have an unusual defensive alignment for left-handed hitting Emerson Frostad. Richard Giannotti is pulled way, way into the left center field gap, and Madrigal is nearly, well, a half acre off the right field line. Warner is way, way off the right field line for Emerson Frostad. Is Boggs running? No. And a pitch out called by Bobby Magallanes, the Colonel manager, and it's ball 1 to Emerson Frostad. Runner at first, 2 gone. Top of the first inning. Colonel pitching staff with the 4-game losing streak has slipped back into last place in the league with a 4.57 team ERA. We were beaten soundly in the series finale Monday night in Davenport, 10-3, and then last night it was an 11-5 romp for the LumberKings. A throw to first, and Boggs just got back, hand first. There are folks with us tonight on the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. That's above the left field wall as an extension of the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Jelena's next delivery is a curve, and it pops out of the mitt of Collins, goes to the backstop, and down to second goes Boggs. They'll probably have to charge Michael Collins with the pass ball. Well, there we go again. I'm overruled. We're 0 for 2, Bob. I thought that was... Collins did have to reach up. I don't dispute that, but the pitch hit his glove. and they call it a wild pitch, not a pass ball. These catchers get a lot of praise.
No comment.
The 2-2 to Frostad, the cleanup man, and he knuckles it foul off the end of the bat, shoots it into the third base club seats above the Clinton third base dugout. The LumberKings are in gray road uniforms with black socks. They have green numbers on the back of their gray road unis, and they wear black belts. Emerson Frostad, with 2 out, has an RBI chance.
I think Yelena probably crossed him up there.
That probably is the case. Here's a high fly ball that bloops onto the grass slope seating berm, and the kid that retrieves it will now show it to the staff at the guest services booth, and that kid will receive a lifetime honorary Colonel contract as well as a free spaghetti dinner to Zio Giano's. The outfield alignment remains in place. The Colonels playing Frostad, a left-handed batter, to hit the other way. Can Carl Jelena retire him to prevent Clinton from taking the lead here in the first? Yes, a fastball, 91 miles an hour. Oh, Carl Jelena reared back, and Frostad couldn't lay off that tempting fastball. He swings and misses for strike 3.
Swung at a pitch that was up in his eyes, and it looked too good to not take a swipe at. He did and missed it.
No runs, a hit for the LumberKings in the first. There were no Colonel errors. A wild pitch. Clinton leaves a runner aboard. And after 1/2 inning, Clinton nothing. The Colonels coming to bat. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late for lunch, but I have a good reason.
Let me guess. New purse, new shoes. Hey, new haircut.
Yeah, I had a change of heart with my hairstyle and stopped by Cost Cutters.
Oh.
So, what you think?
I think it looks great.
I love the color and the layers.
Yeah, I like it and all, but I'm sure you'll change it next week.
Hey, my hair is always a struggle. One minute I love it, the next I'm ready for a whole new hair color. Cost Cutters is the only salon that can keep up with my changing style.
Ooh, remember when you had it short and spiky?
Or when it was shoulder length and red.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
No, I should try shoulder length and red.
Chris?
Yes.
All I know is that Cost Cutters is the only salon for me.
And me.
Ditto.
Hey, gang, for once we all agree.
Yeah.
Make your neighborhood Cost Cutters the only salon for you and your style. Cost Cutters, just your style. Cost Cutters is proud to support Eastern Iowa's most wholesome, affordable family entertainment, Cedar Rapids Kernels Baseball.
Wapsipennican State Park provides a majestic setting for the Wapsipennican Country Club Golf Course. Short but tricky, this par 33 9-hole course requires accuracy off the tees, while small but responsive greens allow for challenging second shots. A tee time is not required, but call 319-462-3930 for course availability. Golf outings are welcome, and there's a spacious banquet facility. Take the Wapsipennican Challenge. Call the Wapsipennican Country Club in Anamosa at 319-462-3930 and see if your short game is up to par.
Last night, the Clinton LumberKings, the visitors, sent 19-year-old Kyle Rogers to the hill. He worked 5 innings and earned his 4th win of the year. This evening, the Texas Ranger minor leaguers go with Michael Schlacht, a 6'7" right-hander, 19 years old. And our pep squad is modeling the millwork, the Cedar Rapids the milling company's camouflage jerseys, and they look sharp. They'll be wearing them tomorrow evening, and you can bid on those camouflage jerseys being sponsored by the milling company for the 3rd straight season.
I thought you put one of those on and disappeared.
Well, I remember wearing one last year, Bob, in honor of the troops in Iraq, and they are sharp. They are a combination of the desert and the jungle, green and brown, and then they have red letters on the back of them. Alexi Casilla is at the plate for the Colonels, or if we... Wait a minute. Nate Sutton is the lead. We've had a change, and thanks to Julia Jansen, our broadcast assistant, we now know Alexi Casilla is a late scratch in the Colonel lineup. Nate Sutton is at the plate. Well, thanks to Julia, we are erasing our scorecards, and Nate Sutton appearing at the plate. Casilla was supposed to lead off, but he's not. And Nate Sutton on a 1-2 pitch drives it foul off to the left. Nate Sutton is the leadoff batter for the Kernels, and we don't know if Alexi Casilla had some sort of injury during the pregame warm-up or what Alexi had happened to him. A change-up from Schlack and a swing and a miss by Nate Sutton, one gone here in the first inning.
Schlack in 101 2/3 innings has struck out now 57, and he has walked only 20, so he's a pitcher that throws strikes.
And he just struck out Nate Sutton with a changeup. Sutton was 0 for 3 in the series opener last night with a walk, and he will be at second base, and he's the Colonel leadoff batter. Sean Rodriguez stands in, and the right-handed batter who stole 2 bases and scored 2 of the Colonel 5 runs last night was 1 for 4, strike 1 to Sean Rodriguez.
This has kind of been a day of misinformation. I don't think the sunspots have done anything. Maybe it's the heat, but...
A grounder to the feet of the third baseman, and Emerson Frostad on the one hopper pegs to first, and Sean Rodriguez, a .262 hitter, is bounced out to third. Bob, isn't it funny we already mentioned the tragic passing of Mickey Owen, who we talked about last night on the Did You Know question, and we look down, you assume it's Alexi Casilla, who would have batted left-handed against Schlack, but it's Nate Sutton, so who knows what happened to Alexi Casilla. Now, Michael Collins is the batter with 2 out, and nobody on. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. A slider from Schlack, the 6'7" right-hander, is a strike called. Schlack, Bob, you can tell from our vantage point, is a kid who is not nearly done growing or filling out. He's kind of raw.
Yes, he's gangly.
And his breaking ball is taken low and away. 4-1 to Michael Collins, who's hitting .344. Believe it or not, Michael still doesn't have enough bats to qualify for the top 10. But he will soon because he's an everyday player now. The right-hander's pitch is a one-hopper to third. Same place that Sean Rodriguez hit it. Emerson Frostad has it. And on to first to get Michael Collins. Collins had an RBI single in the first inning last night. Tonight, though, Michael Schlack, the 6'7", 19-year-old right-hander, retires the top 3 in the Colonel order, 1, 2, 3, nothing across. And as we go ahead, Bob.
I was talking about misinformation. Michelle Wee, I was on with Scott Unash, and Scott had the story that, Michelle Wee was defeated today in the afternoon matches at the United States Golf Association Public Links, 3 holes to 1 hole. Well, that was not the case. It was mistransmitted, and she won. So she goes to the quarterfinals and is 3 matches away from winning the whole thing at the age of 15, and an all-men's tournament except for Michelle Wee with the National Public Links. And then we get the misguided lineup, so we're not a tower of information, folks. But we put it out there and let something happen.
And then we correct it and make it accurate. We go to the second. It's the Kernels and Clinton, no score. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
How would you like your next home buying or selling experience and lending process to be handled beautifully under one roof? If that's the way you want your real estate and mortgage needs to be met, select Todd Financial Services. Securing your loan and helping you find or sell your home is what Todd Financial Services does better than traditional banks and real estate firms. You'll be fully informed, supported, and taken care of so that buying, selling, or financing your home will be a pleasurable experience. Todd Financial Services, eager to meet all of your mortgage and real estate needs under one roof.
The 5 best days of summer are coming. The Great Jones County Fair and Food Fest, July 20th through the 24th in Monticello. On Thursday, July 21st, Dale Lee presents REO Speedwagon live at the Jones County Farm Bureau Amphitheater. Friday, July 22nd, the Jones Regional Medical Center hosts the return of Rascal Flatts, presented by Coors Light. And special guest Miranda Lambert. On Saturday, July 23rd, Flex Sales presents Leonard Skinner. with special guests Dick Beck and the Letterman wrap up the fair on Sunday, July 24th, presented by the Cedar Rapids Kernels. See them perform live and on the jumbo projection screen presented by U.S. Cellular. Get your tickets now online at GreatJonesCountyFair.com and by phone at 465-3275. It's the 153rd Great Jones County Fair and Food Fest in Monticello.
We're in the second inning, and the leadoff batter with this game scoreless for Clinton is Craig Herba. He's ahead in the count 2-1. We're glad you're with us tonight. Carl Jelena's next pitch to Herba is drilled into right center. On the run, Giannotti, and Richard glides over effortlessly to make a one-handed play. Craig Herba hit a slicing liner to the right of Richard, or to Richard's left, to our right, and Richard tracked it down. Herba had a 2-run triple last night in Clinton's 3-run second inning, 1 for 5. He lines to center, 1 gone here in the second inning.
Well, how about the State Farm scoreboard for Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, and Lanny Peterson? How would that be?
Yes, Bob, especially since there were a couple of afternoon games. A high fly ball into shallow center, and Richard Giannotti has to sprint in, and sliding on his knees, Richard hauls it down. Billy Sudsdorf's bid for a Texas League single was turned aside on a running catch in shallow center by Giannotti. I think Richard took charge there, Bob.
Yes, he did, and he made a little flair out of the play, maybe a little more than necessary.
Well, I'm so happy to see that he took charge and called.
He can go get him.
Yes, he can. We'll tell you about the Cubs and Pirates in a moment on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and then the Brewers hosted the Nationals. Strike 1 is into Andrew Wishy with nobody on, 2 out. Top of the second. Wishy, a left-handed batter, didn't play last night. And he lines a single into left center field. Giannotti has to cut over to his right to cut it off, and into the second base bag it goes. Andrew Wishy has singled with 2 out here in the second inning, the second hit for the Clinton Ball Club.
Well, Mark Pryor was certainly on today at Wrigley Field, and the Cubs are 44-44 after 88 games. The Cubs back to 500, beating Pittsburgh 5-1. Todd Walker hit his 4th home run. Pryor won his 6th game. His ERA is 3.07 now. And then the Milwaukee Brewers rallied for 2 in the 8th to beat Washington 4-2.
The runner goes, and a high drive way back and right. Madrigal's going back. It's carrying. It's off the top of the wall. Belted by Ian Gack, and with 2 out, Gack has driven home Andrew Wishy, who was running on the play, and it's 1-0 LumberKings. Ian Gack, who didn't play last night, hit a drive to high in the air to right, and Madrigal, Bob, really took a very strange route to that ball, and I don't think Warner would have caught it. It almost went out of here for a 2-run homer, high off the wall, and Madrigal could not get it, and with Wishy running on a 2-out pitch, Gack has doubled him home to make it 1-0 LumberKings.
Well, getting back on that, Madrigal was kind of wishy-washy about it.
Yes, he was.
He went over to his left, then to his right, but I don't think it was a catchable ball.
I don't either. It was high off the 8-foot-high green padded wall, and a fastball is upstairs to Casey Benjamin. Well, Carl Jelena, so far the LumberKings are jumping on his first pitches. A 2-out single followed by a 2-out RBI double. Ian Gack at second base, and Casey Benjamin, a left-handed hitting shortstop, ahead 1-0. It's 1-0 LumberKings second inning, and a strike heaved in from Carl Jelena.
Gack has hit his 16th double of the year and driven home his 36th run.
And he didn't play last night. He's a big guy, 6'3", 245. He looks like a Texas Longhorn football player. He's only 19 years old. Ian Gack at second base. Benjamin pokes the 1-1 pitch foul off to the left, and it's 1-2 to Casey Benjamin. Everybody's predicting that Bobby Cox will win his 14th straight division title and surpass Frank Robinson in his feel-good story Washington Nationals. I think Washington will stay in the race.
Oh, I do too. There isn't an overpowering team in that division, and certainly Atlanta is not overpowering. However, Atlanta's going to get Hudson back and Chipper back
A tap over the hill, not an easy play for Nate Sutton. He backhands and throws the batter out. Nate Sutton had to charge into his right, and in front of the bag at second, backhanded that chopper and threw out Benjamin to end the Clinton second inning. But the LumberKings strike for 1 run with 2 outs on 2 hits. There were no Colonel errors, and Clinton leaves a runner aboard, their second man stranded so far. The Colonels coming to bat in the home half of the second, trailing the LumberKings 1-0. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vee food stores are proud sponsors of the Coach's Corner with Scott U. Nash. Teaming up with Dr. Pepper, Old Dutch, Robert's Dairy, Fast Pizza, and Wells Blue Bunny, Hy-Vee is proud to bring the Coach's Corner to you from the Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vee kitchens. Hy-Vee and the Coach's Corner sponsors want to wish good luck to all of the area schools this coming year. Make sure to stay tuned to the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM to find out where you can catch Scott U. Nash and the Coach's Corner each week.
KCRG TV9's 2005 Our Town Tour begins in Manchester. Manchester's right in the middle of everything in Delaware County, so there are lots of sights to see, things to do, places to go, and best of all, lots of nice people to meet. See Manchester close up for a whole week. Our Town Manchester, brought to you by the Maquoketa Valley Electric Cooperative. Tomorrow on KCRG TV9 News at 6.
In the world of golf, the word titanium is becoming key to a great game of golf. Just think about it, titanium drivers, even titanium golf balls. Now get the titanium that will really help your game. Maui Jim Titanium Sport Sunglasses, featuring their patented Polarized Plus technology, which eliminates glare so completely, you'll read putts and see your target line a whole lot better. Maui Jim Titanium Sport Sunglasses.
For both single vision and progressive prescription Maui Jim glasses, visit Arcade Opticians, 1953 First Avenue.
Clinton ahead 1-0 for right-hander Michael Schlatt, a 6-4 record, an ERA of 4.26. Drew Toussaint, who has hit safely in 11 of his last 13 games, socked a 2-run homer in the 7th last night, was 2 for 4 in the Colonel loss. Drew will lead it off for the Colonels. His average is up to 295.
That, too, is good news.
Drew, with 44 runs driven in. The on-deck hitter, Freddy Sandoval, the All-Star, leads the Colonels with 45 RBIs. Schlack's overhand pitch is low for ball 1.
Some of the other games, the New York Yankees in Boston, it's 4-2 Boston into the last half of the second inning. Tampa Bay and Toronto, 0-0 in the fourth. Kansas City, Detroit, Kansas City 2, Detroit 0 in the fourth. White Sox 1, Cleveland 0 at Cleveland in the third.
A strike to Drew, and now a let-up, and Toussaint swung over the top of it for strike 2. Drew Toussaint, right-handed batter, steps out for a moment. Boy, that Red Sox-Yankee series, what a way to open the second half at Fenway Park. And ball 2 is upstairs to the Colonel slugger, Drew Toussaint. We told you last night that Brandon Cashman, the center fielder out of the University of Illinois for the LumberKings, plays as shallow as any center fielder in this league, and he's shallow for Toussaint, who wraps one back to the hill. A snazzy stab of it by the right-hander Schlack, who helps himself with a good fielding play on to first. And Drew Toussaint is the 4th Colonel to be retired in succession by Michael Schlack.
Long arms and a good-sized glove, and a lot of good things will happen to you. Also, in the Boston Yankee game, Giambi's hit his 11th home run, Billy Williams his 6th home run, Trot Nixon his 10th home run. Arroyo pitching for Boston. Messina started for New York.
Freddy Sandoval, who took the collar last night 0 for 5, reaches as the first Colonel base runner, smacking a grounder through the right side past Ian Gack, the first baseman. And the Colonels have the tying run at first with 1 out here in the second inning. Sandoval, with a .254 hitter, pulled that pitch hard between Gack and Tug Hulett, the second baseman, for the first Colonel hit of the game. In steps Richard Giannotti, switch hitter out of the University of Miami. Richard's hitting .249. Strike at the knees, a fastball to Richard Giannotti.
Talk about names, Ian Gack, that's another good baseball name. Man, do the people who make up the box scores love a guy by the name of Gack. That's it.
Ian's holding Sandoval at first. And another oddity, Bob, there's not too many people I know, now that I think about it, that have a 3-letter first name and a 3-letter last name. And, of course, Harry Carey would have fun spelling Gack's name backwards and pronouncing it Cag. The 1-1 instead of throw to first. Freddy Sandoval has 12 steals in 17 tries. The Kernels are tops in the league with 123 stolen bases in 90 games.
I still like from Fort Wayne, Colt, though.
Colt Morton.
Morton, I like that.
That's a great name. A curve, and it's punched foul into the Kernel well. It skips off the top of the Kernel first base dugout into the red premier seats. Strike 2 to Giannotti, another great name, and sorry to have to bring it up because the guy just mauls Kernel pitching. We played the Swing of the Quad Cities 12 times this season in their ballpark, and Wes Swackhammer is hitting over 400 against Kernel pitching.
Yeah, that's, I remember him from Sunday over there.
Old Wes Swackhammer. Giannotti bounces one to first. Ian Gack backhands it, throws to second out. The shortstop's return throw to first, not in time. It was the pitcher covering, and a lot of action on that tap to first. Sandoval was thrown out. 3-1, or 3-6, Gack to Benjamin. Then Casey Benjamin's throw back to the first base bag was to the pitcher covering, Michael Schlaff, not in time, and Giannotti may be doing some running here with 2 out and 1 on. Well, a watershed mark for Jordan Renz. I hope it's all up now like a rocket for Jordan. Jordan's had a good second half, and his average is finally at the 200 mark. He was 2 for 3 last night, scored a run, drove in a run. 6 homers, 32. There goes the runner. A pitch outside. The throw to second is in time, and Richard Giannotti was thrown out by the catcher, Craig Herba. The second baseman, Tug Hulett, took the toss, and the caught stealing went 2-4 to end the Kernel's second inning.
Kernels could have used a little stronger slide there.
It was a good throw by Herba, and Giannotti, as Bob said, it looked like he sputtered into second base. No runs for the Kernels, 1 hit. There were no Clinton errors, and the Kernels leave, nobody aboard. Kernel broadcast assistant Julia Jansen is standing by to take over with the play-by-play of the third inning, along with Bob. After 2, Clinton on top of the Kernels, 1-0, and you're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's. Better call Papa.
My son and I are lactose intolerant, but we can eat all the dairy we want all day long. And for that, I'd like to thank the people who make Digestive Advantage LI. By taking just 1 Digestive Advantage LI tablet a day, we can drink milk, eat pizza, and enjoy ice cream without worrying about feeling uncomfortable. And I don't have to worry about what my son eats when I'm not around to watch him. 1 tablet a day and we get all the calcium we need because we can eat all the dairy we want. Thanks to Digestive Advantage LI.
Feel the advantage of Digestive Advantage LI. Available at drugstores everywhere.
Hi, I'm David Orrick. When you call 1-800-989-4200, you get a real person within seconds, not a 5-minute menu of buttons to push. Here's another old-fashioned idea. My 8-pound Orrick XL vacuums are built to last long after you've thrown the other brands away. Call 1-800-989-4200. I'll send you one to try, risk-free for 30 days. Of course, if you'd rather talk to a machine, you can always call someone else.
Top of the order back at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the LumberKings lead the Kernels 1-0. First pitch to Brandon Cashman is ball high. Brandon Cashman is hitting .250, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs, big right-handed batter. Uses a white ash bat and has his pants pulled down around his ankles. The 0-1 pitch, strike 1.
Groups in the stands tonight. First United Methodist Church in the Plaza section.
And Brandon Cashman sends one foul down the first base line. It bounces off the light pole down the first base line. That's $1 million shot right there. So he has 1 ball and 2 strikes with no outs here at the top of the third. And the pitch is tapped to second baseman Nate Sutton, who flips over to Chris Walston for the first out. That was a 4-3 play. That brings up Tug Hulett, the second baseman for the LumberKings.
Also here tonight, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in sections 113, 114. We'll hear from them later on. The Silver Pines Residential Living here tonight. Pre-game picnic area, Engineered Seal Products, the Iowa Fluid Power, and Target.
2 balls and no strikes to Tug Hulett, the left-handed batter, hitting .278. 1 out here in the top of the third, and Tug bounces the ball to Sutton. Again, same play as before, 4-3 for the second out. That brings up Brandon Boggs, who had a single in the first inning. The designated hitter tonight. 22 years old. Drafted out of the 4th round of the 2004 June draft. He played at Georgia Tech.
Boggs had a base hit in his first appearance, and the LumberKings lead the Kernels 1-0.
First pitch by Carl Jelena is in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Brandon Boggs, 2 out at the top of the third. The 0-1-1 pitch is an 82-mile-per-hour ball, just a little outside. Jelena fires, and now Boggs lifts one deep into right field. It bounces off the wall, and Madrigal throws it in. That will be a stand-up double for Brandon Boggs, his second hit of the game already. That's just the 4th hit for the LumberKings tonight. Ian Gatch had a double in the second inning. They've had 2 doubles tonight and just 2 singles.
That's the 6th double of the year by Brandon Boggs. Again, Madrigal in right field. Got tied up with that ball as it went to the base of the wall in right. Had he been able to get back there, there could have been a play on the ball, but it was solidly hit.
Left-hander Emerson Frostad stands in at the plate. Boggs is at second. There's 2 outs for the LumberKings. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Frostad has a whole set of gear on. He has a red bat. It's kind of an interesting burgundy-looking bat. He has protectors on his elbows and ankles. And he gets a hold of the pitch and hoists that deep into right or left center field, and Richard Giannotti runs over way to his right and makes a great catch to end the inning for the LumberKings.
Giannotti had the batter played perfectly. Frostad went to the opposite field, and the outfield was drawn that way, and Giannotti made the running catch.
Well, they failed to score. The LumberKings failed to score in the top of the third. They had no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. They left 1 man on base. They've stranded 3. We'll come back with the bottom of the third. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball here in the Zone.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
For more than 70 years, Rockwell Collins has been dedicated to providing innovative and dependable aviation electronics and communication solutions worldwide. We also bring a dedication of excellence to our communities to help ensure growth and prosperity. The long-standing partnership between Rockwell Collins and the Kernels is one way we're enhancing the quality of life in our community and making Cedar Rapids the best place to live and work. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, partners on and off the field.
Wildcat Golf Course is ready to show you what makes us your local golf destination. 18 challenging holes for all skill levels. We have all of the services for you to have a great golf day. Check out our driving range before you tee it up or grab your favorite sandwich from our bar and grill. Our pro shop is loaded with top golf gear from Srixon, Titleist, and Wilson, and awesome apparel from Ashworth and Nike. Wildcat is also the home course for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Take the 20-minute drive from Cedar Rapids to see why Wildcat Golf Course is always something unexpected.
We move to the bottom of the third at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The LumberKings are on top of the Kernels by one swim run, 1-0 LumberKings. Jordan Renz will lead off the inning for the Kernels. He's hitting 200 tonight. He's had a climb up to 100 mark all first half this season and now is hitting 200. He has 6 home runs, 32 RBIs, 7 doubles, and no triples. Jordan is the designator hitter tonight. Michael Schlatt is still on the mound for the LumberKings.
Well, he should be. He's pitched 2 shutout innings and given up 1 hit. And the Kernels trail 1-0 on 1-run 4 hits by the Clinton LumberKings.
The first pitch to Jordan Renz, a ball low. Crowd is filling in, settling down. They've had something to eat. See if they can't get involved in the game here. Ball 2 to Jordan Renz.
Up on the mezzanine tonight, we have Aegon Life Investors. Welcome to them. And Bankers Trust.
There's a strike to Jordan Renz. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs here, bottom of the third. Kernels trail just by 1 run. The 2-1 pitch is lifted deep into right center field. The center fielder, Brandon Catherine, is back there to make the catch for the first out of the inning. That will bring Warner Madrigal up to the plate. He's had the last couple nights off.
Well, on this night, with just a little breeze blowing in, let's see if Madrigal can get his 12th home run of the year.
Tie the game up for the Kernels. Warner has a black tip on his bat tonight, and it's a dark maple color in the middle and white tape at the bottom. First pitch by Michael Schlatt is ball 1. Chris Walston is swinging over on deck circle. The 1-0 pitch is fouled back. It trickles back here towards the net. There is a good breeze out there, blowing the flag right at the 403 mark in center field, in straight towards us. 1 ball and 1 strike to Warner Madrigal, 1 out in the bottom of the third, and the pitch fouled back out of the stadium. One ball, 2 strikes. Warner Madrigal is hitting .227 with 11 home runs, 34 RBIs. He swings the bat in slow circles above his head and gets a piece of another one and drills it foul down the first baseline.
And just foul. That could have been a double. Pretty well tagged.
So still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Warner Madrigal. Those camouflage jerseys the Pub team are wearing are very nice looking. Those will be auctioned off tomorrow. And now Warner Madrigal taps the ball to the third baseman, Emerson Fawcett. It takes a funny bounce right in front of him, and he picks up the ball but doesn't make a throw over to first. So Warner Madrigal has a single there. We'll see if they recorded that as a hit.
What happened was the ball had a nice high hop to it off Madrigal's bat. The third baseman stopped there and figured, I'm going to get the second high hop right up above my belt. Well, it hit the edge of the infield grass, and instead of bouncing up, it rolled down.
Chris Walston takes a big swing and a miss at the first pitch.
Second hit for the Kernels, and credit the infield with that base hit.
So they throw back to first to send Warner Madrigal back to first base.
As the old coach once said, be ready for anything, and that's what you have to be when you're a third baseman. You can't anticipate that hop is going to be perfect.
And now Chris Walston kind of taps the ball foul. It bounces over the third base dugout into the stands for some happy fans. So
well, as we well know, Walston has home run power.
We could take the lead in the game here. We're just down by 1 run. Bottom of the third, 1 out. No balls and 2 strikes to Chris Walston. Takes a big swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 outs now.
The curveball usually gets Walston, and did there.
And that's the second strikeout from Michael Hulett tonight. Now we'll bring the top of the order, Nate Sutton up to the plate for the Kernels. Sutton was the last minute change. Came in there in the place of Casilla. Batting left-handed tonight. And the first pitch to Nate Sutton is strike 1, 86 miles per hour. Most of the field is in shadows, or the sun is clouded by a lot of shadow. The sun isn't very intense any part of the field tonight. Pretty much hazy out in right field.
6'7" right-hander on the mound for Clinton, and it's 1-0 Clinton over Cedar Rapids.
Kernels have a runner at first, Warner Madrigal after a single, and Nate Sutton has an 0-1 count and swings and drives the ball right at first baseman Ian Gack. It bounces off his shin and rolls toward the pitcher, but no play is made, so we have runners at first and second. They hit for Nate Sutton tonight. Now the Kernels have...
That's another one of the axioms in the game, because when you hit the ball, a lot of things can happen. You don't have to drive it deep. You don't have to have the perfect swing. Sometimes if you just hit the ball at somebody, you get a ricochet or a bounce, and what do you know? I got a base hit.
That probably was a very painful ricochet off his shin, too. But it was enough to get Sutton at first, and Madrigal is over at second, and Sean Rodriguez is up to bat. We had a little conference out at the pitcher's mound, and now we're ready to get things started again. First pitch is tapped right down the third base line, stayed fair. Diving play by Emerson Fawcett at third wasn't enough, and that will score the first run for the Kernels, and we have a tie game. So an RBI single for Sean Rodriguez. That is his 17th RBI of the season. And now Warner Madrigal is at third, and Sean Rodriguez is at first. And that brings Michael Collins, who's hitting .344, up to the plate.
That base hit down the left field line by Rodriguez, he was able to put a good pivot on the ball and get it just inside the third base bag and past a diving Frostad. So 2 balls that didn't really get much past the pitcher's mound results in a tie game.
First pitch to Michael Collins. He looks up for strike 1. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The Kernels just tied the game at 1 apiece against the LumberKings. We have runners on the corners. And the 0-1 pitch to Michael Collins is swung on and tapped foul back to the net.
87-mile-an-hour pitch in on his fist. Good pitch by Schlack.
We were talking last night. Michael Collins has a funny routine when he gets out of the batter's box. He kind of taps his heels together and kind of he's an interesting guy to watch get in the batter's box as he shuffles the dirt around quite a bit. So now there's a fake throw to first, maybe over to first, but there was no throw made by the pitcher, Michael Schlatt.
I think Michael figures, hey, I got away with a balk there.
Yeah, a lot of people in the audience are yelling balk too. So the 0-2 pitch to Michael Collins is high for ball one. Runners on the corners. Kernels tie the game at 1. We have 2 outs, bottom of the third here. Lights aren't on yet. The sun is setting. 86 degrees. It's gorgeous now. The 1-2 pitch. The runners go. So that was a swing and a miss by Michael Collins for strike 3. He stranded 2 runners on the base, but not before the Kernels scored. Warner Madrigal had a single and scored. To tie the game at 1 apiece, there was 1 run on 3 hits. There was no errors. They left 2 men on base. That's the only 2 the Kernels have stranded tonight. So with the tie game, we'll move to the 4th. You're enjoying Kernel baseball here in the zone.
Kirby, the recycling mascot, wants you to take a bite out of landfill space by recycling cardboard. It's easy. Cardboard should be flattened, tied and bundled in 2x3 foot bundles, then placed next to the blue recycling box for curbside collection. Your friends at Solid Waste and Recycling want to thank Cedar Rapids residents for their continuing efforts to reduce waste and save landfill space.
Are you in debt way over your head? Do you have $4,000, $6,000, $10,000, maybe even more in credit card bills? Want to get out of debt? Gather those bills and let the agencies offering Care One Credit Counseling Services help you. Here's our number: 800-233-4985. 800-233-4985. If you're behind in paying your medical bills, your personal bills and loans, and you've been on the receiving end of one collection call, and you want to stop those calls immediately, call Care One Credit Counseling Services for a consultation and debt analysis. Some of our customers save up to 57% on their monthly payments. If you're over your head in debt, gather your bills right now and call Care One Credit Counseling Services for your consultation, debt analysis, and licensing information. Here's the number: 800-233-4985. 800-233-4985. That's 800-233-4985.
We move into the 4th inning here at the ballpark with the 1-1 tie. Both teams have 4 hits. There have been no errors, and Craig Herba, the catcher, will be the first man to bat against Carl Jelena. And the curve is a strike called over the outside corner. 1-1 here in the 4th, and the pitch on its way. There's a swing and a line drive for a base hit off a slow-breaking curveball. Toussaint picks it up, tosses it back in, and Herba gets the 5th hit tonight by the Clinton LumberKings to put the lead run at first with nobody out, and that brings up Billy Sudsdorf hitting .256. Swing of the Quad Cities, 14-6 in the Midwest League West. Kane County 12-8, Cedar Rapids 11-9, Beloit 10-10. Same for Clinton. Here's the pitch. Jelena puts it in there, a curveball low and outside, and he drops behind. 1 ball, no strikes. LumberKings had a single in the first. They had a single and double in the second, double in the third, singles so far here in the 4th. Stretch. Here it is. The runner goes. There's a swing on a run and hit, and this is a foul ball out of play. Down towards the seats in right field. After getting 5,000 plus last night, the Kernels tonight aren't doing that well, but It's a nice, comfortable crowd here tonight on a warm evening that, with a crowd this size, makes it very, very comfortable. Sudsdorf, right-handed batter, runner at first. Jelena throws over there, and the runner's back in time. Top of the fourth here. The infield at double play depth. It would be Sandoval, Rodriguez, Sutton, and Walston, and the pitch. Swung on, hit, just foul. Almost caught the bag down at the third base area, but not quite. Bounced down into the bullpen. South Bend, the Silverhawks, 12-8. They were the champs in the East in the first half and continue to do that with a game lead over West Michigan. Dayton is 10-10. They too are improved in the second half of the campaign. Very important to give young players a new goal at midseason. There's a curve low and in the dirt. Runner breaks. Here's the throw. Not in time. Collins kept the ball in front of him, dug it out of the soil in front of home plate, but the throw, while right on the bag, wasn't quite in time, and even the catcher was able to steal second base. Runner at second, Sudsdorf, again with a 2-2 count, and nobody out. Lead run at second against Carl Jelena. He's ready, checks, throws. There's a ground ball to the third baseman. Sandoval digs it up, fires. He is out at first base, and one man is gone. Sandoval had to reach down and make sure that ball didn't skid on him, and he came up with it cleanly, and he's got a good arm there at third, and he kept the runner at second base. That brings up Andrew Wishy, who singled and scored the first run for Clinton in the top half of the second inning after the double by Sam Gack. Wishy, left-handed batter. Jelena again checks and delivers. This one misses the inside corner, according to plate umpire Mike Lusky, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Wishy hitting .222 with 2 homers, 18 runs driven in on the year. Medium lead at second, and here's the pitch. Curve low and inside. Ball 2 and no strikes. So far, Jelena has not walked a batter. He has had 1 wild pitch. And the LumberKings have stolen the base. Again, the sign given, and the pitch on its way. Swung on, and a high foul fly out of play. 2 balls and a strike. The finale of the series tomorrow at 7. It'll be camouflage jersey night. Plan to come out and bid on the jerseys, and a salute to the armed forces from the Cedar Rapids Kernels at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Herba leads at second. Jelena delivers, swung on and fouled back again. Wishy hangs in there. Ball 2, strike 2. We've been talking about players' names, and my favorite player's name is still Coco Crisp of the Cleveland Indians. Herba, but that's always subject to change. Here's the pitch. Low and off the plate. Now we go 3-2. So Jelena with a runner at second, 1 out, 1-1 game. The top half of the 4th inning. Outfield is drawn just a bit to the left, although now Giannotti goes back to his right a little bit. In fact, he's kind of stalking out there in center field. Jelena gets the sign from Michael Collins. Here's the pickoff attempt, and the runner, Herba, is back in time. But he's showing that he's a hustler as a ball player because he shows that red dirt on the front of his uni. At the belt, here's the pitch on its way. Swung on a changeup, and he struck him out. Important strikeout by Carl Jelena. Gave him a nice, juicy, slow curve. Here's Ian Gack hitting .224, 6 home runs, and he has 36 runs driven in, and on the year, 16 doubles. Good-sized right-handed batter steps in there. Puts that Nike deep in the box and waves that toothpick around, and Jelena is ready for the first pitch. Swinging a hard-hit ground ball down the left field line that will untie the game. Herba comes around to score easily. The ball is picked up by Toussaint in the bullpen and thrown back in, but not before Gack gets his second double of the game. First pitch again, and it was good enough to swing at and good enough to hit, and he put a charge into that one with a hard ground ball down the left field line into the left field corner at the 315-foot mark, and Clinton retakes the lead at 1. It was 1-1, now it's 2-1 Clinton. That brings up Casey Benjamin with 2 outs. Jelena's first pitch, just a little too good to Gack. There's a strike over the outside corner. Gack is a good-looking ball player, but his hitting against Cedar Rapids belies a .224 batting average. Michael Collins, crouching down behind home plate, gives the sign, and Jelena delivers. Right there. Perfect pitch. 87 miles an hour between the knees and the waist. And it goes along to strike 2 to Benjamin, hitting .250. Top of the 4th here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and at the belt again, the pitch. Curve, swung on and fouled off. He fought that one off the handle of his bat. Also tonight, up on the mezzanine, Aegon Life Investors, Bankers Trust, as we told you, in the pavilion area. Aegon FMD, Jefferson High School staff, and the stretch by Jelena, the pitch, swung on. Little golf ball hit down to first. Collins picks it up, flips it to Jelena to retire the side. Benjamin is out from the first baseman, Walston, to the pitcher, Jelena, who covers. Walston moved to his right, took it, could have run over himself, but Jelena, being the good pitcher he is, anytime the ball's hit to the right side of the infield, you go to first, and that's what he did, and he made the play. So we have completed 3.5 innings. It's Clinton 2, Cedar Rapids 1, and you're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Could your golf game use a little help? Know what the pros know. Know which club head is best for you. Know which shaft is best for you. Know which golf ball is best for you. Know your optimum flight trajectory. Know you can do your best with better fitting golf equipment from your Golf Headquarters Nevada Bobs. Call for your appointment today. Golf Headquarters Nevada Bobs, fitting exclusively with top-line, pro-line equipment. Golf Headquarters Nevada Bobs at 1961 Blairs Ferry Road in Cedar Rapids.
KCRG TV9's 2005 Our Town Tour begins in Manchester. Manchester's right in the middle of everything in Delaware County, so there are lots of sights to see, things to do, places to go, and best of all, lots of nice people to meet. See Manchester close up for a whole week. Our Town Manchester, brought to you by the Maquoketa Valley Electric Cooperative. Tomorrow on KCRG TV9 News at 6.
When it comes to insurance and financial services, think smart. Think about Farm Bureau Financial Services for auto, home, life, farm and ranch, retirement funding, and business protection. Call Brian Berg and Marion. More products, more services, more of your needs met. So for more information, call Brian Berg and Marion. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
Now a little picking and plucking music here tonight, and so far the Cedar Rapids Kernels have been nicked for 2 runs by Clinton. John Rogers settles in with us up here, and John, so far with the Kernels there has not been a great deal of enthusiasm in the first 3 innings of their at-bats here.
I've noticed the same thing, Bob. There's hustle, but there's not that bounce in their step that you like to see, that fire in their belly, and perhaps that will emerge here in the middle innings. You sure hate to lose that bounce in your step when you're at home and you need to break out of a 4-game losing skid and you're trying to contend for a playoff spot.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Low scoop by Benjamin. Throw in time. Nice play.
1 pitch, 1 out.
That was a ground ball that was not sharply hit to the edge of the infield grass, and Benjamin made a good play out of that. That brings up Freddy Sandoval.
Bob, in the 5th inning, we will be welcoming, as you alluded to earlier, our guest from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Jeff Morris. He'll be with you in the 5th inning.
Left-handed batter Freddy Sandoval. He singled in his first at-bat, and this is a fastball strike at 87 miles an hour. Tonight, Jelena has been clocked at 91. Here it is, outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2-1 ball game. Clinton out in front. Now the pitch. Swung on, hit to the left of the second baseman into right field for a base hit. Freddy Sandoval's 2nd hit of the night. That .254 average is going up, too. And the Kernels have their 5th hit of the night. Problem has been, they've all been singles.
And last night, the LumberKings, 6 of their 11 hits were for extra bases. And tonight, the 2 doubles by Ian Gack have driven in both Clinton runs. They have 3 doubles.
Runner leads at first, and Sandoval, the throw over there. Freddy Sandoval, 2-stride lead at first. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped foul out of play. So it's strike 1. Giannotti batting .249, 3 homers, 19 runs driven in, 12 doubles. And he is in stolen bases, 6 out of 8. Well, he has stolen 8 and been caught 6. Pitch. Swung on. Hit down the left field line. Tried to get that ball in fair ground, but couldn't quite do it. Going with the pitch. And the count is strike 2. John, I had a visit with Rob and Peter a little bit today about their trip to the All-Star game, and they really enjoyed the things that Detroit did.
Did you find out the answer to how Rob scored the ticket?
Well, yes, but I'm not privy to say.
That's fine. That sounds like there's a fun story behind that.
Well, it's kind of yes, it's a fun story. It involved a trade.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I'll tell you how.
Probably a win-win.
It was.
That's
yes,
great.
It was.
That's great.
Here's the pitch. Swung on. Fly ball into left field. On with it is Wishy, and he doesn't have to wish about that. He just catches it.
Bob, the 2 souvenirs I have left, actually 3 from my 1966 All-Star game in St. Louis that you were a reporter at, we found out last week. I have the ticket stub, and believe it or not, a box seat for the All-Star game in 1966 was $8. and I have a pennant.
That's what it should be today.
That's right. I have a pennant, and I have the souvenir program, so I hope Peter and Rob brought back some
yes. They had the Detroit News, and one of the things that they did that was very nice was to go to Fan Fest.
Oh, yeah.
And Rob said he saw Bud Selig, the commissioner, walking around the exhibits.
Oh, that's neat.
There's a swing and a foul ball again outside of third. And I was telling Jack Rader on the elevator coming up here that they told me that there was a big part of the exhibit saluted, of all things, the minor leagues. How about that? And one of the pictures they had displayed was of old Veterans Memorial Stadium.
That is wonderful
and
news.
I told Jack, why don't they let somebody know about those?
Exactly, at least with a press release. Heck, we could have had Rob take some pictures of it.
There's a throw over to first, and the runner's back in time.
Well, boy, I'm glad you got to get a briefing from Robbie. And
yeah, I enjoyed that.
Golly, Fan Fest, that's something that in 1966, the big deal then was to see batting practice. There was no home run contest. There was no Fan Fest. It was kind of in and out. It was an afternoon game in 66, as you were recalling the 113-degree or 115-degree temperatures. But I forgot. I'm glad to hear that Rob and Peter saved the newspaper. I did save the front page of the sports section in 1966, the Globe Democrat, and they had pictures, headshots of all the All-Stars. Koufax, Marischal, and Gibson were on the National League pitching staff.
The game in those days was the game, the players, and it was not an affair to see if you could get 32 players into a game.
Right.
You went to see the best players in baseball, and you expected to at least see them for 7 innings.
That's the way it was, and it was really a pride thing. The National League dominated then.
Swing and a line drive to the shortstop, and Jordan Rentz is out. Benjamin unassisted. So that retires the Kernels here in the last half of the fourth inning on no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and 1 man left on. So we have completed 4 at the Vet, where it is 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, Clinton, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, Cedar Rapids. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Do dragonflies really breathe fire? Maybe we can answer
Have you heard the great news?
Question
Mediacom
like
has stepped to the
Phil
front to give
Andrews,
girls
your
and
Pekin
boys the
insurance
chance to do
professional at
cool
White
stuff
Hammer
at the Kernels and at the stadium.
Can answer
As a
all
member
your
of the
insurance
Mediacom
questions.
Little Sluggers,
Phil Andrews
you get to have
is
an
an
autograph
insurance
session with the Colonel.
He can help you
Take
with
a
all
tour
kinds
of the
of protection.
stadium. Watch a movie from the outfield grass. Take batting practice with the
your
Colonel.
Pekin
And
insurance agent
participate
at
in
White
a
Hammer
story time
Andrews
with the players.
has all the right
Join the
answers
fun
for
of the
right
Mediacom
insurance
Little
coverages
Sluggers
for you
registering
and your
online
family.
at Kernels.com. That's Kernels.com.
Do dragonflies really breathe fire? Maybe we can answer a thought-provoking question like that. But Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional at White Hammer Andrews Agency, can answer all your insurance questions. Phil Andrews is an insurance expert, and he can help you with all kinds of protection. Auto, home, life, health, and business. Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at White Hammer Andrews, has all the right answers for the right insurance coverages for you and your family.
Established in 1916, the Vinton Country Club Golf Course, set among the rolling hills of the Cedar River, has been called the course with personality. Everything's cool at Vinton. A friendly staff ensures hospitality, and well-maintained fairways and greens keep Vinton Country Club immaculate and challenging. No tee times are required, and their roomy clubhouse is equipped with an affordable banquet room. Put some personality in your game. Play your next round at the Vinton Country Club, 314 North 9th Avenue, Vinton.
Here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and it's back to the top of the order with the Clinton LumberKings and Brandon Cashman. He's flied out and grounded out, and as Jelena takes a wind-up, here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball to the shortstop. In quickly, Rodriguez the throw in time to Walston at first, and 1 man is out. That'll bring up Tug Hulett, the second baseman, and as advertised, Jeff Morris from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society has joined us up here tonight, and Jeff, welcome to the booth. Nice to have you here.
My pleasure, Bob.
You are representing the group, and you work at Osco's, do you?
Yep. Glad to be a part of it. Such an important cause. I want to do more than just form a team this year, and here I am.
All right. We will, after the first pitch here, get to the main event that you're here to promote. There's a attempted bunt that's fouled off to the left. Light the Night. What is that?
Basically, it's a walk held nationally at about 70 locations right now. It's one of the newer walks. Ours is this year, the September 24th. It starts at 5:30 at the University of Iowa Athletic Hall of Fame in Iowa City. Like I said, basically participants come, walk about a 2-mile course holding a lit balloon, and raise funds for a cure in research and support the family.
There's another foul, and the count now is strike 2 to Tug Hulett, the second baseman. Here's the pitch, high and outside. And, of course, when you talk about leukemia and lymphoma and so on, you're talking about an absolute deadly disease.
Yeah, and it has no prejudice. Unfortunately, it affects a lot of kids, but there's older ones as well. So
there's a swing and a foul back. And years ago, Jeff, really in society, you wouldn't talk about these diseases because people were scared to death of them. And
right.
There was no cure. And there's a ball that's inside, and it's now 2-2. But nowadays, everything is being done on every front to battle these things day to day.
Yep, and like I said, it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for people just like you and me. We do the best that we can, and they are making headway in research, and that's all that we can hope for.
Yes, and they have made progress.
Yes, they have.
Which is good too, and I am sure that everybody listening, and you and I, and there isn't a person not touched by this. There's a swing and a fly ball into left. Toussaint is there, and he gloves it. Tug Hulett flies out to left field, and that brings up Brandon Boggs with 2 out, 2-1 in favor of Clinton, because everybody can relate to this.
Yep, definitely. Like I said, it affects a lot of people.
And that's one of the reasons that you're involved, correct?
Yep, you betcha. Yeah, like I said, it's great to see how many people volunteer and, just want to get this taken care of. So,
little looper out into left center field. Toussaint cuts it off. Runner tries for second. Here's the throw. Head first slide. Safe at second base. Boggs gets credit for his third hit tonight. He's had a single and 2 doubles, and now has 7 doubles on the year. So another runner's at second with 2 out. Jelena has had problems with 2 outs. Clinton got their first run after 2 men were retired. They got their next run after 2 men had been retired, but 1 man was on at the time. Now the stretch. Here's the pickoff attempt. Out at second base. They got him. Rodriguez was able to sneak in back of Boggs, and on a time play and action, Jelena to Rodriguez, and that does retire the side. So it's 3 up and 3 down, but a double in between. And the score, 2-1. We go to the last half of the 5th inning. Clinton is out in front. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was a news anchor for Channel 2. You may also have seen me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years, I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Honfidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Centerpoint Road Northeast.
Wildcat Golf Course is ready to show you what makes us your local golf destination. 18 challenging holes for all skill levels. We have all of the services for you to have a great golf day. Check out our driving range before you tee it up or grab your favorite sandwich from our bar and grill. Our pro shop is loaded with top golf gear from Srixon, Titleist, and Wilson, and awesome apparel from Ashworth and Nike. Wildcat is also the home course for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Take the 20-minute drive from Cedar Rapids to see why Wildcat Golf Course is always something unexpected.
During the break here, we've found out a little bit more about the life and times of Jeff Morris, a Cedar Rapids Prairie graduate, lives in Ely, played basketball for the Prairie Hawks, and has twins, one boy, one girl, and they're how old?
4.
And their names are?
Reese and Maddie. They're here enjoying the game tonight with my parents, so having a lot of fun.
With the grandparents.
Yep, grandparents, yep.
Yep. Well, this is a fun night for the kids. I think they get a kick out of that, and that is another reason we've talked about leukemia, and that disease has affected children, and it's absolutely tragic. But they are getting better each and every day with regard to treatment. And how do you sign up for this Light the Night and contribute and so on?
Basically, especially those attending the game, we have information here at the game, but otherwise there is a website. It's lighttonight.com, and you can sign up for the various walks around the United States. Like I said, in this area, our walk's actually held in Iowa City, and our hope is that someday we get it big enough, grow it big enough so that Cedar Rapids can have a walk also, but right now it kind of incorporates all the areas around Iowa City. So
there's a ground ball by Madrigal, and he is tossed out on a high bouncer Frostad to Ian Gack, one gone, and that brings up Chris Walston, the first baseman. 2-1 the score in favor of the Clinton LumberKings. Jeff, did you get pretty good participation here tonight?
Yes, very good. This wouldn't have been possible without the Kernels organization, and like I said, it's just another way for us to touch a big audience, and it's so important.
Same play, same story. Long throw, and Frostad to Gack, and 2 men are gone. Well, in the walk, are you going to get past Kinnick?
Actually, we're heading down towards Corville by the.
You're going that way
by the main strip there.
Well,
yep.
There's a lot of area down in there.
Yep. It's
that lends itself to that.
Yep. Yeah, it's quite the thing to see. Like I said, last year's my first year, and once those balloons light up for the beginning of the walk, it's phenomenal.
Left-handed batter Nate Sutton with 2 out. There's a ball that's flowing outside. So, friends, make an inquiry about Light the Night and contribute for the Cancer Fund of Lymphoma and Leukemia for those 2 societies, and let's hope. We hope and hope that a cure can be found. Ball 2, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Strike, it's called, over the outside corner. A lot of groups have focused their attention on that particular drive, haven't they?
Yeah, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's the nation's biggest health fundraiser. Like I said, it just hits such a big audience, and as far as, like I said, unfortunately, kids are, the bigger part of this, and it's just unfortunate, and I hope that someday I don't have to do this because they found the cure. So
here's the 2-2 pitch outside, 3-2, 2-1 out here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Clinton over the Cedar Rapids Kernels, and the Kernels, as you well know, try to back every legitimate cause that they possibly can. Little tap back to the mound. The pitcher picks it up and tosses to first. Had to make A little hurried throw, but did accurately. And that is from Schlack to Gack. Hey, how about that, John? That's another one for you. Schlack to Gack. And that retires the side with no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. We've completed 5, and it's 2-1 in favor of Clinton and what has now become a pitcher's duel here at the ballpark. And our thanks to Jeff Morris, and let's light up tonight, and the date is what?
September 24th. Festivities start at 5:30.
September the 24th. That's when darkness comes a little bit early, and you can light up the night in Iowa City on September the 24th. So you have plenty of time to organize, make your contribution, and attend, and have a night of lighting it up for a very good cause. Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Thank you, Bob.
And we'll wish the Prairie Hawks good luck, too.
You bet.
Yep. What's the wristband?
We're actually selling these. This is
okay. Tell me about that.
This actual wristband that was in the People magazine that showed the different wristbands around the world, and that's the Relentless one, which is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's wristband. So, yeah, like I said, they're $2. All the funding goes towards the cause. So.
And the pen is how much? Just a contribution, or?
Actually, the pen here is just promoting our balloon sales. We do the
and
paper.
The balloon, what do you ask for?
The balloon paper icons are sold at various locations. $1 minimum, whatever people want to donate. So.
All right. So get out there and donate, and remember, light up the night in September. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Bob.
We'll keep it here and pick up the break after the next break, or whichever break you want. So, Jeff, thanks again, and bring the Kernels a couple of runs here, will you?
You bet. My pleasure.
And the batter for the Clinton LumberKings is Emerson Frostad. He struck out and flied out. Jelena winds up and delivers. Here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive, stabbed by Nate Sutton. Nice move to his left. He reached out, and Nate came up with a catch of a pretty solid line drive by Frostad. One gone. We're in the 6th, and now it's Craig Herba. Reminded that Jefferson High School staff is out here, and brother, it won't be long before they'll be going to work. Back at the high school level, in fact, here's the pitch. There's a ball that's outside. Ball 2 and no strikes. If I wasn't not mistaken, Cedar Rapids, Washington was having a high school football camp as we drove by today. Here's the pitch on its way. Swung on, ground ball off the pitcher's knee out into right field. Jelena got swacked with that one, and it's a base hit off the knee of the pitcher. And immediately the trainer will come out for the Kernels, and so will Kernan Ronan and the catcher Michael Collins.
Right below
Eric
the
Munson, the trainer. That was pretty solid. It hit that knee so hard that it bounced out into shallow right field.
Well, here's Carl trying to put weight on his right knee, his push-off leg, and so far so good. It's just a matter of whether Kernan Ronan and Eric Munson believe if Carl Jelena continue in this game. The Colonel bullpen has not sprung into action yet, and so far, Bob, the indication is Jelena will try to tough it out.
Well, it must have hit him on a meaty spot up in there, because that was a hard-hit ground ball. Took one bounce and then ran right into that knee. Brings up Billy Sudstorf, 2-1, Clinton, top half of the 6th. Runner at first, one out. Jelena checks him. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up. An easy shot here for Walston, and he makes the grab. 2 men are gone.
Well, thank goodness I don't have to relive the horror listening to Harry Carey and Jack Buck in 1968. Willie Stargell, a line drive back to the mound at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, and it broke Bob Gibson's leg. 67, Cardinal fans. Of course, Dick Hughes was the guy that came up and I think won 12 or 13 games to replace Bob Gibson in the rotation. Gibby got up and tried to do what Carl Jelena did, throw a practice toss, and he collapsed.
Here's Wishy. The stretch and the pitch on its way. Swung on. High fly ball down the right field line. Chasing it. Sutton can't get there. He slid into the barrier trying to come up with that one, but it's in foul ground, and the kids come over for the souvenir. Madrigal flips it to him. Sutton was the only guy who had any kind of an angle on that one, and he made a good effort.
We've been out hit now 8-5, and as Bob said, I'd concur. It's not that the ball club isn't hustling and trying. It's just that everything is just dragging a little bit for the Kernels out there. They need to have some bounce in their steps, some fire in their belly.
And they have to attack the ball when it's their turn to bat.
And let's remember the late substitution. Nate Sutton had to step in for Alexi Casilla. That shows you what Casilla means to this ball club, to take nothing away from Nate Sutton as a leadoff hitter. Casilla is the real catalyst of this ball club.
Stretch, here's the pitch. Little off the corner. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jelena has pitched a well-ordered game, but first pitches have gotten him into difficulty. Here's this one. It's a strike right over the heart of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 on, 2 out. It's baseball at Cedar Rapids. Hope that you join us out here tomorrow night at 7 for the 3rd game and the finale of the series. Stretch, here's the pitch. High and wide. It's ball 2, strike 2. And it's on to Beloit, isn't it?
Actually, Bob, back to Peoria for the 2nd time in this month. We play 4 in Peoria.
Wonderful.
Crazy schedule. But 4 in Peoria. The Booster Club's taking a Tri-State Travel Motor Coach.
There's a swing and a ground ball right to Walston. He gloves it, tags the bag, and that is it. Walston unassisted to retire the side on a run and hit. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And we have played now 5.5 innings. Kernels coming to bat. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction is guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Come and visit one of our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Please call 378-1221. Hometown Restyling. There's no place like home.
I live for you, I feed your cats, I fold your undies at the laundromat, unless you want me to have them dry. I get paid for that. I'll work things out, things get bad. I'll shave my soul back before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck to strategically hide my tattoos if I can. I'm winning the band, I'm winning your hand. I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine. Rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine. 1 taste and you get it. I'll shop with you, always be true. I'll never share my Dr. Pepper with you. Sorry. This Dr. Pepper is mine. 1 taste and you get it. So rich. This Dr. Pepper is mine. So refreshing taste, drinking by the case. This Dr. Pepper is mine. Delicious. Isn't even a word.
A little dancing music out here at the ballpark, and it's a 2-1 ball game in favor of Clinton. Incidentally, with the high school tournaments to start, we want to wish all of the metro area teams the best. They've had a good regular season. Cedar Rapids Jefferson rated second in 4A, back of West Des Moines Valley. Cedar Rapids Kennedy won the Valley Division of the Mississippi Valley Conference. Cedar Rapids Jefferson is rated, so is Marion. Manchester West Delaware figures in it too. And the rankings came out today for 3A and 4A for the final time this year, if you can believe it. And as we get Schlack warming up, the first batter for the Kernels will be Sean Rodriguez. And since this is the last half of the sixth inning, remember that the Springhouse now serves beer and wine coolers. That's good to know during those hot summer evenings this month and next. You can quench your thirst with a frosty cold beer or refreshing wine cooler at the Springhouse. They're open until 8:30 Monday through Saturday and until 8 on Sunday. And now, Julia, what is the trivia question?
Are you ready?
No. But let's have it.
Rafael Palmeiro is about to become just the fourth player in history to collect 3,000 hits and belt over 500 home runs. We want you to name two of the three players who have accomplished this amazing feat already.
Swinging a high fly ball by Rodriguez. It is in foul ground, and Frostad comes down to make the play. He took the catcher off of it, and the third baseman makes it. Okay, the phone number.
Our phone number here is 896-7589, 896-7589. Call in if you can name two of the three players who have accomplished the amazing feat of clutching over 3,000 hits and over 500 home runs.
Probably Raffy is underappreciated as a Baltimore Oriole. First pitch to Collins is a strike up around the letters. 2-1 in favor of Clinton. They've out hit the Kernels 8-5. Now the pitch on the way. There's a swing and a ground ball. Scooped up by the third baseman Frosted, and he scoops and fires, and two men are out. So with two gone, Drew Toussaint comes up, and the Kernels still haven't been able to do much with Michael Schlack. In fact, he has been a tough cookie. Kernels have had one runner at the plate, one runner at third, and that has been it in a 2-1 game.
Looks like we might already have a winner on the trivia question tonight.
Here's the pitch. Curve for a strike. 78-mile-an-hour changeup. Michael Schlack, 6'7", 205-pounder, out of Marietta, Georgia. This pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Do we have a winner, Julia?
Yes, we do. Congratulations to Tom Dowd of Cedar Rapids.
Shortly hit ground ball to third baseman Frosted, picks and fires, and that retires the side.
He answered Willie Mays and Hank Aaron correctly for two of the three players that accomplished this amazing feat of collecting 3,000 hits and over 500 home runs. The other person was Eddie Murray. So congratulations, Tom Dowd. You'll have a Springhouse gift certificate sent in the mail to you shortly.
And, Tom, when you go out there, be sure and see that unicycle. It's a rare piece, to be sure. We'll be back here at the ballpark where the Kernels trail 2-1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
The incredible battle continues this Friday night at Cedar Rapids Hawkeye Downs Speedway. It's full throttle energy drink night for all 6 Papa John's Cup iWireless Championship Division. 39 different feature winners this season. That's right, 39 different drivers have won feature races on Friday nights at Cedar Rapids Hawkeye Downs Speedway. Come out this Friday night and see the incredible competition. The racing starts at 7 o'clock this Friday night at Cedar Rapids Hawkeye Downs Speedway.
KCRG TV9's 2005 Our Town Tour begins in Manchester. Manchester's right in the middle of everything in Delaware County, so there are lots of sights to see, things to do, places to go, and best of all, lots of nice people to meet. See Manchester close up for a whole week. Our Town Manchester, brought to you by the Maquoketa Valley Electric Cooperative. Tomorrow on KCRG TV9 News at 6.
Kelly's Auto Center in Iowa City is the home of the nationwide 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty. Whether it's across town or across the country, you'll drive with confidence in a Kelly's car. Each of Kelly's vehicles receives a strict 110-point safety inspection to make sure you receive the quality used vehicle you've come to expect from us. A qualified mechanic checks each car, truck, and van bumper to bumper. For peace of mind on your next vehicle purchase, stop by and see Brett or Tim at Kelly's Auto Center at 510 South Riverside Drive in Iowa City.
We're going to have a delay, it appears, as Carl Jelena is waiting for the Kernel equipment manager, Ron Klein, to get the grounds crew out. There's something wrong with the dirt in front of the rubber, and here comes Jesse Rader along with Matt Myscheid, and they're going to do some landscaping on the front side of the mound. We're going to the 7th inning, and Clinton leads it 2-1. They've out-hit the Kernels 8-5. Bob Brooks is with us, and again, congratulations to Tom Dowd of the northeast side of Cedar Rapids. Tom earned himself a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House. Rafael Palmero is about to become just the 4th man in baseball history to belt 500 homers and collect 3,000 hits. Tom Dowd correctly identified Willie Mays and Hank Aaron as 2 of the other 3 that have done it, and so too did Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray, Bob, was one of those guys we talked about a couple of weeks ago after the Kenny Rogers temper eruption in the ballpark in Arlington. Eddie Murray really didn't, it wasn't that he didn't like the media, and I'm not condoning what he did, but he did not speak to the media much at all, and therefore I wasn't surprised that Tom Dowd identified Aaron and Mays ahead of Eddie Murray, but Murray is in pretty exclusive company.
Yes, he is, and was a great hitter, but a poor communicator.
He really was. Now,
Aaron and Mays weren't outstanding, but they were good enough, and they also were in better markets for that sort of thing, too.
It's ironic that Eddie Murray played most of his career in Baltimore before Camden Yards was built, and now Rafael Palmero, in the twilight of his career, is playing at Camden Yards. And Bob Nance and his wife Verna have fond memories of Eddie Murray's brother, Venice Murray, a very unusual name. Venice played here as a Cincinnati Red farmhand, and I met Venice Murray several years ago. He was a scout for the Phillies, and he still remembered Bob and Verna Nance fixing him fried chicken and corn on the cob.
Oh, yes.
And the Nances would invite Venice Murray into their home.
And homegrown tomatoes, and what a wonderful family the Nances are. I mean, they've done that for years and years. Bob was, when we used to have the steak fries that got out of hand finally because of, it became quite a chore to get that thing organized, and we do different things than we used to. But they always provided the corn, and it was always the best that you could have at this time of year. They're just wonderful, wonderful people. Bob, of course, has been a member of the Harmony Hawks for so many years. And, it's just been great to know him.
Well, Venice remembers that corn, that sweet corn you just described, Bob. And Eddie Murray, one of 3, soon to be joined by Rafael Palmero, along with Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Only 4 in the history of the game with 500 homers and 3,000 hits. Some folks thought Barry Bonds was there, but Barry has yet to. He's around 2,800 career hits, and who knows what, with his health problems, if he'll be able to join that circle of elite big leaguers. Ian Gack has driven in both runs for the Clinton Ball Club with a pair of doubles. He's a mammoth. Look out! And he sent sprawling.
Yes, and he didn't like it.
No, and Bob, that was a message pitch, a purpose pitch. Bob Gibson said you can't hit a pitch like a crab from your back, and Gack glared out at Carl Jelena. And I applaud Jelena, not for trying to hit Gack, but for shaking him up enough and saying, hey, Buster, I own part of the plate, too. Now Ian takes a mammoth cut and fouls it back. And perhaps, Bob, we've noted that the Kernels just look a little bit on the lethargic side tonight. Perhaps that will be a wake-up call for the ball club.
Well, you notice how Gack plants that right foot. I was telling people about the Nike deep in the box. That's about as deep as you can get.
Well, so far, the purpose pitch has sent the right message. A swing and a miss by Ian Gack.
That was 89 miles an hour, so he came back with a pretty good hummer.
We're in the top of the seventh, and the LumberKings lead it 2-1. Kernels have been out hit 8-5. Carl Jelena's 1-2 pitch to the big right-handed slugger is a slow curveball upstairs.
But he pitched him inside again.
Gack steps out. The Kernels have Chris Waters heating it up down in the right field bullpen. The outfield plays Ian Gack, a .224 hitter, straight away. Swing and a miss! And Ian Gack is gone on strike, swinging, and perhaps a pivotal moment in this game when the first pitch from Jelena went right underneath the chin of Ian Gack and sent him sprawling right onto his back. And again, Bob and I aren't here condoning throwing at people. That was not what Carl Jelena's intent was. It was to loosen up the hitter and send him a message.
Well, it was to get him from digging that right foot in there all the time.
Exactly. Casey Benjamin, the shortstop, whacks one on 2 hops to Sutton. Nate knocks it down, recovers in time to get his man. Casey Benjamin, first pitch swinging, is 0 for 3. He pulled it hard on the ground, and Sutton had to make a good play to his left. The ball flicked off the heel of Nate Smith, but rolled just a few feet in front of him, and Sutton pounced on it and got Benjamin, and there are 2 gone here in the Clinton 7th inning. This crowd is quiet tonight. The chicken dance performed by our pep squad, I think the loudest this crowd has cheered so far this evening. And I commend our director of entertainment, Andy Pantini, along with our great pros from Metro Video for inserting that chicken dance. I'm not sure it was in the original script, but Andy said this, essentially noting what Bob and I have, that we need something to get this crowd revved up a little bit. Ball 1 to Brandon Cashman. Now a high fly ball into shallow center. And on the run, Richard Giannotti makes the play in shallow center. As Bob said earlier, Richard can pick him up and lay him down in center field, and he made a fine running catch in shallow center off the Brandon Cashman fly. And Carl Jelena has given the ball club a big lift. That's 7 solid innings from the Colonel right-hander, Carl Jelena. We go to the home half of the 7th. Let's hope the crowd comes alive and that the Colonel bats respond. After 6.5, Clinton still leads it 2-1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
People say that I can't decide things. They are so wrong, but I could be wrong about that.
A U.S. Bank check card with checking that pays gives you a choice of rewards, like cash, points for merchandise and gift certificates, World Perks miles, or even sweepstakes entries.
Easy decision. I'll take the cash. No, the sweep.
Sign up at your local U.S. Bank or call 1-800-720-BANK.
I've made up my mind to put off my decision. That is final.
U.S. Bank.
No, wait.
See banker for complete details. Member FDIC.
Schlacht is trying to match his performance from Friday night, a win at Alliant Energy Field for the LumberKings over the West Michigan Whitecaps. In that outing, Schlacht went 7 innings, gave the Whitecaps 1 run on 6 hits, struck out 1, walked 1. He was a 6-2 winner. The Kernels beat this 19-year-old right-hander June 17th, leading up to the All-Star game. He was a 6-0 loser here. He went 5 1/3, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, struck out 4, walked 1. The Kernels have yet to solve. Michael Schlacht had runners at first and third after tying the game in the 3rd inning, but Michael Collins struck out, and let's see if the Kernels, with Freddy Sandoval leading off, Freddy's 2 for 2, if the Kernels can break through against the 19-year-old right-hander Schlacht. Breaking pitch is outside. Freddy bluffed a bunt and took it for ball 1.
Freddy Sandoval is 2 for 2. He has 2 singles here.
Switch hitter batting left with an open stance against the tall right-hander. And a belt-tied changeup is a strike called. Playing well off the line at third, even with the bag, is Emerson Frostad. The center fielder, Brandon Cashman, is playing Freddy into right center. The 1-1 is popped in the air foul. This one will drift beyond the reach of the third baseman Frostad and up into the red club seats it goes. 2-1 Clinton. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. The LumberKing pitching staff ranks 4th in the Midwest League, 4th of 14 teams with a 4.12 ERA. Well, Michael Schlacht is 6-4 on the year, and the Rangers, who have been looking for pitching, it seems, for 3 decades since moving down to Arlington, may have something in this kid. Ball 2 is outside to Freddy Sandoval.
The problem is you have to develop them.
And Schlacht is far from Major League ready at age 19. His 2-2 to Freddy Sandoval is fouled away to the left. Thanks to Colonel Broadcast Assistant Julia Jansen, Bob has a fresh State Farm Major League scoreboard. It's brought to us by State Farm Insurance agent Al Shetler. Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, and Lanny Peterson will start digging in on that State Farm Major League scoreboard after this next pitch to Freddy. It's a 2-2 count. Look out, a pitch down and in, ball 3, and the count full now.
The White Sox in Cleveland, it is 1-0 Chicago after 8 innings. And consequently, what do you know? Coco Crisp is batting for Cleveland as we speak.
Your favorite player's name?
1-0 White Sox.
Hey, a great start to the Colonel 7th as Freddy Sandoval draws the first walk issued by right-hander Michael Schlacht. What an at-bat for Sandoval. He was in the hole 1 and 2. Freddy reaches for the 3rd time in a row, and let's see if the Colonels turn to Richard Giannotti to bunt or to hit and run here.
And immediately the Clinton bullpen will get active here.
Giannotti, one of the best bunters in the Midwest League, is shortened up a bit, a throw to first, and Sandoval dives back safely. This afternoon, remember, you Cub fans, behind Mark Pryor, the Cubs whipped the Pirates 5-1, and this afternoon in Milwaukee, the Brewers toppled the Nationals 4-2, and we'll give it back for the evening action to Bob here in just a moment. Another throw to first, low, and digging it out was Ian Gack, and the throw hit Freddy Sandoval. He's going to be checked out by Justin Bachman, the first base coach.
Philadelphia and Florida, the Phils lead at 10-5 in the last of the 8th. Boston leads the Yankees 6-5 in the top of the 8th. There have been 19 hits in that game. Sheffield, Giambi, Williams have hit home runs for New York. Ortiz and Nixon for Boston. Kansas City beating Detroit 7-5.
We still have no indication. A hit and run is on, and it's bounced foul by Giannotti past first. Well, we suspected, Bob, either a bunt or a hit and run, and Bobby Magallanes chose the hit and run on the first pitch. What inning is that Royal game in?
The Royal game is in the last of the 8th inning.
Okay.
And Toronto, Tampa Bay leads 3-0 in the last half of the 9th inning. That is about over. Minnesota and the LA Angels The Angels lead it 3-2 in the last half of the sixth inning. Baltimore and Seattle later. Atlanta and the New York Mets, 6-3 Mets into the top half of the ninth inning at New York.
Giannotti swings at a fastball, letter high, and missed it. Strike two. 0-2 to Richard. Yeah, the Angels are playing in the Metrodome tonight. And Giannotti spoils a good pitch from the 19-year-old Schlack as he ropes it foul into the screen. 2-1 LumberKings. The Kernels have their leadoff man aboard.
There have been no home runs at the Metrodome tonight so far. Air conditioning must be on.
I want to pick up on that in a moment. The Kernels have their leadoff man aboard for the first time tonight. Jeff Johnson, the outstanding Gazette sports writer who covers the Kernels, is a huge Twin fan. And, Bob, there have been not allegations, but I can't remember if it was Tom Kelly, I'll think in a moment, a former Twin player or coach. Here's a tap over the hill, could be a double play. The shortstop gloves it at second, out, throw to first, out, I'll be darned. A double play. That really, really hurts the Kernels. That really hurts the Kernels. A tap over the hill. Sandoval was forced at second as Casey Benjamin gloved it right at the bag and then whipped his throw to first, and I'll be darned, we didn't hit and run, we didn't bunt, we didn't straight steal, and that's so uncharacteristic of the Kernels. And of all things, Richard Giannotti bounces into a 6-3 double play. That really hurts.
And Giannotti is the best bunter the Kernels have.
Jordan Renz will try to start a rally with 2 out. And he skies one into right off the end of the bat. The right fielder loses it. Now I think he's found it, and he has it despite struggling. Billy Suzdorf makes the catch. Oh, an inning that started with promise. For the first time tonight, the Kernels put their leadoff man aboard, and he was erased in a double play. Renz flies to right, and no runs for the Kernels in the 7th inning. No hits, a walk, a double play. The first of the night turned by Clinton. There were no LumberKing errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty and have only stranded 3. We'll get back to that Metrodome cooling system that is controversial when the Clinton LumberKings bat in the 8th inning. They still hold a 2-1 lead over the Kernels. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kill Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 48 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kill Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykiel.com. Also, Randy Kiel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Kiel Honda on Center Point Road, Northeast.
How do I sign up to enjoy the game from the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub, Julia?
It's simple. All you have to do is register as a customer service booth, Center Court at Westdale Mall, then listen to Mix 96.5 FM to find out if your name is drawn as the winner of the Home Run Hot Tub. As the winner, you'll savor a breathtaking panoramic view of the ballgame from the soothing splendor and comfort just above the left field wall at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Cool. I'm going to go grab my swimsuit.
In this game, after Freddy Sandoval led the 7th inning off by drawing a walk, the first Colonel to lead off an inning by reaching, Richard Giannotti tapped into a double play. It went shortstop to first, and we go to the 8th. Carl Jelena has done everything and more the Colonels could have asked of him to help us out of this 4-game losing streak, and Carl has had no offensive support. He'll face Tug Hulett, Brandon Boggs, and Emerson Frostad, the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup for the LumberKings. Hulett's been held in check tonight, and a strike is called to Tug, who's 0 for 3. Bob, I've failed to remember what Twin pretty much admitted that they did regulate the flow of air in the Metrodome. Here's a line shot and a diving effort by Sean Rodriguez. It flicks off his mid into left, and Tug Hulett, you're not going to hold him down the whole night. He's aboard, and now the LumberKings are in the driver's seat. They'll likely hit and run, steal, or bunt and run with Tug Hulett aboard at first. I don't remember which twin admitted it, but basically what the Twins would do would turn on the cooling system so that it would, when they were at bat, the ball would carry, and then they would shut it down when the visitors batted, and it did have an effect, Bob.
Well, it made the air heavy inside and condensed some of the thing, and they almost could have a rain out there.
Boy, I wish I could remember which twin actually had the chutzpah to spill the beans on that, because it is cheating, and it's one of those things for years people have thought, and I don't know why, because the Cubs haven't taken advantage of it, but for years people suspected the Cubs had a spy in that old-fashioned hand-run scoreboard in Wrigley Field with binoculars, and that he would see the signs being flashed by the catcher. Uh-oh, here's a cross-up, a pitch out, and Carl Jelena fires a fastball that was nearly a strike on the outside corner. Michael Collins had to reach across his body. At any rate, they thought the Cubs would signal the pitch to the first base coach, who would then signal to the batter, but I can't see any truth in that, Bob. The Cubs would have won a World Series by now if that was true.
No, I don't think the batter didn't believe the sign had been stolen. He thought it was a bogus deal. No, I'm sure when Leo DeRocher was managing the Cubs that they stole signs from the area of the scoreboard in center field. There isn't any question about that in my mind.
And then Leo managed the Cubs to 4 or 5 winning seasons. And Leo was that kind of guy. He'd take any advantage and sometimes cross the line. Tug Hulett is at first. He has a big lead. The 1-0 pitch to Boggs, who's 3 for 3, and a throw to first. The runner is back. It's a 2-1 game in the top of the 8th inning. Clinton has out-hit the Kernels 9-5. Yeah, teams will do a lot for a home field advantage.
Boggs has had 2 doubles and a single tonight.
He's a switch hitter batting left, and he takes a bunt, and no bunt needed now unless Clinton wants to bunt the runner to third. Boy, you could see this coming, the momentum in this game. After the leadoff walk to Sandoval in the bottom of the 7th, the Kernels failed to capitalize on that, and a pass ball has been charged to Michael Collins. It's ball 2 to Brandon Boggs, and oh, brother, the Kernels need to snap out of it. How do you win 6 games in a row and then lose 4 in a row? It just boggles my mind. But as Harry Carey used to say prophetically, that's baseball. And if we could figure it out, there'd be no need to suit up every night. Now will Boggs be trying to bunt Hulett to third? Boy, that Tug Hulett's a ball player. He's a ball player. Strike 1 from Carl Jelena on the outside corner.
Well, he should be. His father was.
Yes, a very good one, Tim Hulett. This crowd is as quiet as I've heard all season, and there's real no explanation for it. The heat is not sweltering. The ball, a bouncer up the middle. It's a base hit, and scoring from second will be Tug Hulett, and it's 3-1. 4 for 4 night. Nobody covers second. Wake up, guys. All right, now it's time to criticize. You've got to play baseball out there. The guys have been lethargic all evening. Nobody covered second base. Brandon Boggs makes it 3-1 Clinton. He's 4 for 4. And how in the world, on a bouncer up the middle, do you leave a base completely open? The runner freezes between second and third. Richard Giannotti holds the baseball, has no one to throw to. Bobby Magallanes has smoke literally spewing out of his ears. You can tell by his stride. Bobby Magallanes has had enough. Not of Jelena, but of this ball club right now. And I'm not here to criticize the guys as ball players or people, but
he's calling the entire infield in there to go over that situation again.
You can't play that way at home. Brandon Boggs singled through the middle and goes to second when a Colonel lapped. Nobody covered second base, and I'll tell you what, Bobby is really giving it to his guys right now. That's embarrassing baseball when you don't cover a base. You can't play the game that way. And Bobby's body language says it all. He is fuming as he heads back into the Colonel first base dugout. We're still only down 3-1, and the Colonels bring in Mitch Arnold, but Bob, you said from the outset things just weren't right with the ball club tonight. They didn't have that oomph.
No, they didn't.
And again, we're not going to be broadcasters that soar to the heights of exultation when the ball club is winning and then badmouth the guys when they're losing. We're not that way. We're rooting as hard as we can for these fellas, and we hope they rally to win this game. Certainly Carl Jelena deserves a much better outcome than he stands at now, but you've got to come to this game, and a scout said this, Bob, you've got to come to a ball game every night as though it might be the last game you're going to play. And I know that sounds trite and, easier said than done, but somebody has to kind of take the bull by the horns and say, come on, guys, let's get after it. Let's get after it.
Well, Cedar Rapids has not had that sort of leader this year at any time from the start of the season till today. But they hopefully have a relief pitcher back in Mitch Arnold, who is 6'9", 230, out of Saratoga. Was in Provo and Salt Lake last year.
Yes, Bob, it is time for the U.S. Cellular Speed Talk call to the bullpen with Mitch Arnold coming in. Mitch has pitched once since his long stay on the disabled list with a bad elbow. U.S. Cellular Speed Talk call to the bullpen has Carl Jelena lifted and Mitch Arnold coming on. Mitch pitched one inning in the Colonel loss Monday night in Davenport, and he's having to face Emerson Frostad, left-handed batter, a 3-1 lead now for the LumberKings here in the 8th inning. Carl Jelena went 7 innings plus. So far he's been charged with 3 runs on 10 hits. The Colonel right-hander struck out 3 and he walked none. He deserves a much better outcome than he's facing right now. Arnold fires a strike call to Emerson Frostad. I thought when Carl knocked down that leadoff hitter, Jack, in the 7th inning, that this game was going to turn around. A bouncer up the middle. Rodriguez to his left and snares it, makes a terrific play to take a hit away from Frostad. On to third goes Brandon Boggs. Rodriguez showed his range on that one, Bob.
Yes, it's interesting the way these two things have developed here. In the last half of the 7th inning, with Cedar Rapids the first man up gets on, Giannotti comes up, and he tried to do what Clinton has been doing. That is bouncing the ball through the middle. The problem was he didn't get enough juice on the ball, and consequently the play was made. But the Clinton batters have been able to get enough bounce out of their strike to move it.
Speaking of bouncing, a chopper to second. Sutton throws home. The runner tries to level Collins, and he hits a brick wall. Michael held on to it, and out at the plate is Brandon Boggs. Maybe that will be the play that riles this Colonel ball club up. Nate Sutton was in, so was the Colonel infield for the play at the plate. Brandon Boggs broke home on the chopper to second by Craig Herba. The throw home by Nate Sutton had Michael Collins blocking the plate, and Michael was in a low position, an athletic position, and Brandon Boggs tried to bowl him over, Bob, and Michael Collins held his ground, and he held the baseball for the out.
Well, he gave him the old Australian block that time at the plate because he got down low, and he's got the body to take a blow like that, and he did.
Yes, he did, and now squirting an 0-1 pitch foul is Billy Susdorf. Craig Herba reaches on a fielder's choice. The Colonel infield was in, and out at the plate was Brandon Boggs. Bob Boggs lowered the boom on Australian catcher Michael Collins, and Collins shriveled up a bit like a turtle, not out of fear, but because he wanted to be able to absorb the blow. Now a ground ball rolled up the middle. Rodriguez stumbles after fielding it, regains his feet to throw to first, not in time. Tough break for the Colonels. Sean Rodriguez had to range far to his left, and when he fielded it, he lost his footing on the grass in shallow center, and a base hit for Billy Suzdorf.
Well, Carlos Sobrero, the manager at Clinton, now can second-guess himself for sending Boggs on that play, but he was going to send him on contact, and that's what happened.
All right. Here's Andrew Wishy, a left-handed batter. It's imperative that Mitch Arnold get Wishy to keep the Kernels in this game. It's 3-1 Clinton. Mitch's fastball is over but low to the left-handed batter. Andrew Wishy singled with 2 out and scored back in the second inning to give Clinton a 1-0 lead. The only Kernel run came in the bottom of the third, and a pitch underneath the glove of Michael Collins, and he has to retrieve it. Meanwhile, Herba moves to third, and Billy Suzdorf to second. They've charged Mitch Arnold with a wild pitch, and the Kernels continue to play rather uninspired baseball tonight. They just haven't looked sharp.
2 wild pitches, a pass ball, and a stolen base tonight by Clinton in a 3-1 game in which Clinton leads. So that's just enough to give you the edge.
And an edge it is. 3-1 LumberKings. Runners at second and third, 2 out. And Andrew Wishy takes ball 3 from Mitch Arnold. Now a fastball at the knees, a strike from the 6'8" right-hander Mitch Arnold. He gave up a run on 1 hit in 1 inning Monday night in Davenport. Mitch is working from the stretch. He comes set and brings it. And a line drive into right will be a base hit. It's into the gap. 2 runs will score. Clinton breaks the game open. Rounding second, heading to third is Andrew Wishy. The relay throw to third, not in time, and it's 5-1 LumberKings. Well, I'll be darned. Andrew Wishy with 2 outs drilled a 2-run triple into the right center field alley to put the LumberKings ahead now, 5-1. Oh, is that a deflating feeling?
Arnold had that pitch right down over the heart of the plate, a perfect pitch to drill, and Wishy did it. And he came up with his 3rd triple of the year. And again, in the first 2 games of this series, Clinton has been able to get extra base hits.
Yes, they have, in great abundance. Taking a great liberty with his first swing is Ian Gack. He wraps it foul, strike 1. The sense of urgency is just not there for the Kernels tonight, and I don't know why. We're trying to have a great second half and play at home and snap a 4-game losing streak and make the playoffs, and something must be amiss in the so-called synergy or soul of this ball club right now. And I'm not taking anything away from the LumberKings. They are a very good ball club. A swing and a miss by Gack. They've proven they're a good ball club. They've beaten us 3 out of 5 times here in our home ballpark this season.
And they have good athletes out there, too. You take a look at the left side of that infield. They're pretty snazzy out there.
And again, this is not a critical indictment of the ball club. It's just that we need to shake things up a little bit. A pitch in the dirt, and coming home with the 4th run of the inning is Andrew Wishy. Another wild pitch. Things have gone from bad to worse, and it's 6-1 LumberKings here in the 8th inning. There may be a closed-door session following this ball game, or perhaps Bobby Magallanes will take a page out of Kirby Farrell's book and have the fellas keep their uniforms on and practice after this ball game, Bob.
Well, I have to think that these wild pitches have been the result of miscommunication between the pitcher and the catcher. That's about the only thing I can figure here.
The 1-2 to the batter is low, and Mitch Arnold has had difficulty. We have to cut him a lot of slack. This is only his 2nd outing after almost 2.5 months on the disabled list, so it's going to take a while for Mitch to find the groove. Swing and a miss by the batter, Ian Gack. 7-man bat, 7 men bat in the LumberKings 4-run 8th inning. The LumberKings strike for 4 runs on 4 base hits. There were no Kernel errors, but there were wild pitches, pass balls, and just some general sloppy play out there. And the LumberKings leave nobody aboard. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Our Colonel Did You Know question will be coming your way in just a moment. After 7.5, the LumberKings cruising 6-1. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
If you're a business owner like me, whether you own a small shop or a large corporation, when it comes to building a new facility, you know it, the process can be overwhelming. And if you're concerned about getting the building you need on a limited budget, you call Anthem Steel for a pre-engineered steel building. Look around and you'll see that more and more businesses, churches, and schools are using steel buildings to save time and money. For as little as $17,000, you can buy a 40 by 60 foot building from Anthem Steel. Anthem Steel has a high-quality solution for almost any size building you need. Churches, schools, or gymnasiums. So call us right now for a free quote. 800-708-3093. That's 800-708-3093. Even for manufacturing, warehousing, or retail buildings, you know it. You can call Anthem Steel right now for a free quote. 800-708-3093. That's 800-708-3093.
KCRG TV9's 2005 Our Town Tour begins in Manchester. Manchester's right in the middle of everything in Delaware County, so there are lots of sights to see, things to do, places to go, and best of all, lots of nice people to meet. See Manchester close up for a whole week. Our Town Manchester, brought to you by the Maquoketa Valley Electric Cooperative. Tomorrow on KCRG TV9 News at 6.
The LumberKings leading 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Make a pitching change. Their starter, Michael Schlecht, gives way to Paul Kamatani. And Bob Brooks, the final line on Michael Schlecht, very, very impressive for a 19-year-old.
7 innings, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts. He had 1 earned run. He threw 79 pitches, 57 of them for strikes, and a well-ordered game here tonight.
A new hurler from our 50th state, Hawaii. Well, I'm going to get in trouble. I always get Alaska and Hawaii. Yeah, I think Hawaii came after Alaska. Paul Kamatani misses outside twice to Warner Madrigal. Warner has one of the Colonel's 5 hits. Hawaiian Paul Kamatani fires a strike called. Paul is 6'4", 200 pounds. He went to Pepperdine in Malibu, California.
Well, he's had some great stops from the beaches at Waikiki to the beaches of the Pacific West in the United States. And now he's in the heart of corn country. How about that?
I wonder if it's a come down for him, Bob, or at least an adjustment. Hey, Warner.
Well, I'll tell you, a cornfield at this time of year looks a little bit like a pineapple field.
Yes, it does, because of the height of the corn. You bet it. So it would be familiar to Kamatani.
Well, if he closed his eyes, it would be.
The 3-2, and Warner breaks his bat, bounces one to shallow third. In is Frostad, and he throws wide. Coming off the base was Ian Gack to tag the hustling Warner Madrigal. Well, let's commend Madrigal for hustling that ball out. He was thrown out by Frostad. Dale Broad, our public address announcer, came in a little bit ago and said the Colonels have bounced out to third base an inordinate amount of times tonight. We'll count up 1, 2, 3, 4.
I get 5.
Yeah, at least you have 5 at least. Chris Walston stands in, and a strike is called. Anyway, the Colonels have been a little bit pull happy, is what Dale.
6.
All right.
Put her down for 6 with the last one included there.
Chris Walston takes ball 1 low. We're in the bottom of the 8th. We talked last night as the Colonels trail Clinton 6-1. We talked about Nolan Ryan being the last Angels pitcher to win 20 games back in 1974. He won 22. Here's a high pop foul, and it's drifting towards the first base dugout above the Colonel outpost, and it's strike 2 to big Chris Walston. Chris is hitting 166, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. Well, our Did You Know question relates to that 22-win season back in 74 by the Ryan Express. Did you know that Nolan Ryan threw 235 pitches in an Angels 15-inning 4-3 win over the Red Sox June 14th, 1974? A high pop foul onto the grandstand roof right side by Walston. There's more to it, though. Ryan was lifted after 13 innings. He made 235 pitches. He struck out 19 Red Sox hitters in 13 innings and walked 10. Struck out 19 and walked 10. That's some double-double. Among his 19 strikeouts, he fanned Cecil Cooper, who was then a Boston Red Sox. He struck him out 6 times.
How would you like to walk back to the dugout after striking out 6 times?
Well, Nolan Ryan could do that to you. He did it to Cecil Cooper back in 1974. This was before the pitch count predominated everything in baseball, and Ryan made 235 pitches in a 13-inning game that, well, it was a 15-inning game. He pitched 13 of the 15 innings. There was no agent there to say, hey, you're being too hard on my kid. Here's a ground ball foul past third by Chris Walston. The count remains even to Chris, 2-2. It's a 6-1 lead for the LumberKings. They've out-hit the Kernels 12-5. And the Kernels are in danger of falling to 11-10 on the year. And let's hope we can do something to ignite a fuse in this ball club.
Kamatani has an ERA of 3, and he has pitched 9 innings, given up 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 homer, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts.
The 2-2 to the big Colonel slugger, Walston, is a strike on the outside corner, and Chris is the second out here in the Colonel 8th inning. It'll bring up Nate Sutton. To make matters worse, 3 of the Colonel 5 hits came in the 3rd inning when the Colonels scored their only run of the game. And 2 of those hits were infield singles. So basically you have a Clinton pitching staff that's just shackled the Colonels tonight. It's that simple. Leadoff batter Nate Sutton takes low for a ball from Paul Kamatani. He spells his last name Kometani. Yeah, that campus. Here's a drive into right center, smacked by Sutton, and over to get it is Brandon Cashman, and Nate Sutton has his 2nd hit of the game. A 2-out line drive into right center for the Colonel 2nd baseman, Nate Sutton.
Clinton up for the score of 6-1. That's the first hit that the Colonels have had since the 4th inning. Outside of Madrigal, who scored tonight, only one other Colonel got to 3rd base, and that was Sutton, who is now down at 1st base.
Well, with 2 out, Bobby Magallanes, I give you full rein to send Sutton. Let's do something to shake this ball club up. If he gets thrown out, he gets thrown out. Ball 1 is outside to strike 1 on the outside corner to Sean Rodriguez. Sean has driven in the only Colonel run when he pulled a single past 3rd, scoring Madrigal in the 3rd inning. Sutton has a short lead. He's being held by big Ian Gack, and a base hit into right by Sean Rodriguez. Sutton will stop at 2nd, and the Colonels have a threat mounting here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runners at 1st and 2nd. 2 out for Michael Collins. If Collins could connect with the long one, we'd have a brand new game here in the 8th inning. It's 6-1, as Bob just mentioned, Clinton, but the Colonels have 2 on, 2 out for their .344 hitting catcher, Michael Collins.
And in tonight's game, the Colonels do not have an extra base hit.
That's why a long one from Collins would make this crowd come alive and pull the Colonels to within 2 runs of Clinton. Kamatani leans in and steps off the rubber. Pepperdine is in Malibu, and Pepperdine's baseball field is one of the most majestic in all of Division I baseball. The outfield is, well, there's a cliff beyond the outfield wall, and then the Pacific Ocean. Nate Sutton, in fact, played at Pepperdine when he was at UC Santa Barbara. They visited Pepperdine Field. Michael Collins loops the first pitch foul straight back. Michael hitting .344, 5 homers, 38 RBIs. Ooh, a fastball and a late swing and a miss by the Colonel cleanup batter. It's 0-2.
That was an 88-mile-an-hour slider that got him. That was not a hittable pitch.
First and second, 2 away here in the Kernel 8th inning. The Kernels trail by 5. Michael Collins is in an 0-2 hole. Let's see if the Hawaiian right-hander Kamatani comes right after him. He does, and a ground ball up the middle. It's through for a base hit. Nate Sutton will rumble home, and the Kernels now trail 6-2. 3 hits in a row by the Kernels with 2 out, make it a 6-2 Clinton lead. Michael Collins grounded it through the middle for an RBI single. Sutton scored, and Rodriguez stopped at second. It's 6-2 Clinton. Drew Toussaint slugged his team-high 13th home run of the year last night.
Let's see if he can get those wrists into one.
Boy, if he could, it would be a 1-run game. The Kernels have struck for a run on 3 straight hits off the right-hander Kamatani, who delivers a curve in at the knees. Strike 1 to Drew Toussaint. Drew is grounded back to the mound and been retired short to first, third to first. He's grounded out 3 times. Rodriguez at second, Collins at first for Drew Toussaint. And a ground ball wrapped to second. Down to get it is Tug Hulett, and he throws in time to get Drew Toussaint, who grounds out for the 4th time this evening. But the Kernels show signs of life. They strike for a run on 3 hits with 2 out here in the 8th inning. There were no Clinton errors. The Kernels strand a pair and have left 5.
Toussaint that time, the ball was outside off the plate, and he tried to get it into right field and grounded out second to first.
Well, at least he went with the pitch. We'll give him, that's good hitting then. As we go to the 9th inning, it's now Clinton 6, the Kernels 2. Chris Waters is coming on to work. We'll tell you about him when we return. 6-2 LumberKings. This is Kernel Baseball in the zone.
And it is done. We attack at lunch.
No, they will expect that. We attack at dinner too.
Excellent. They will never expect a second wave of warriors.
We must prepare.
They will be waiting.
With fresh meat and vegetables on a large table.
And we will be swift in our actions.
Choosing only the finest of their offerings.
Piling them high in a bowl.
Then cooking them fast on a sizzling grill.
And then we eat.
Gaze upon your fresh meat and vegetables for the final time.
The attack will be successful, and we will be satisfied.
The plan is done.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Valerie. Yeah, we're just getting ready for lunch at Genghis Grill. You want to go?
Yes, to Genghis Grill. Probably no to you two.
Okay.
She is a spy.
And not nearly as hot as she thinks she is.
Fresh food attack.
Genghis Grill, where Edgewood Road meets Williams Boulevard in Cedar Rapids, next to Gander Mountain.
Wildcat Golf Course is ready to show you what makes us your local golf destination. 18 challenging holes for all skill levels. We have all of the services for you to have a great golf day. Check out our driving range before you tee it up, or grab your favorite sandwich from our bar and grill. Our pro shop is loaded with top golf gear from Strixon, Titleist, and Wilson, and awesome apparel from Ashworth and Nike. Wildcat is also the home course for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Take the 20-minute drive from Cedar Rapids to see why Wildcat Golf Course is always something unexpected.
As we head to the top of the 9th, it's time for the U.S. Cellular Speed Talk call to the bullpen. And coming on for the Kernels is Chris Waters, right-hander. Mitch Arnold went an inning and allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, struck out 1 and walked none. He also uncorked 2 wild pitches. So it's Chris Waters to try to keep it a 6-2 game Clinton as we go to the 9th inning.
Waters is 1-1, lost 4. And he has pitched 41 innings, given up 46 hits, 25 runs, 21 of them earned, 5 home runs, 2 hit batsmen, 17 walks, 34 strikeouts, and 4 wild pitches.
Chris's first pitch is over but low to Casey Benjamin, the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, a left-handed batter, and there's a strike from Chris Waters. Benjamin's a .250 hitter. 2 homers, 22 RBIs, and Casey's 0 for 3. 3 ground outs so far tonight. The Kernels squeeze him up the middle. The cornermen, Sandoval and Walston, are way off their respective lines.
John, last night you were complaining about the fish flies, and tonight We don't have many
Well,
for some reason or other.
You know, that was a phenomenon that we hope was one time. Smacking the 1-1 pitch or 2-1 pitch foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion is Benjamin. 2-2. You're right, Bob. There are a smattering of those fish flies, but they aren't in the hordes they were here last night. We'll give you our attendance after this next pitch from Waters to the number 9 batter for Clinton. It's wrapped through the box, and Rodriguez dives to his left, throws, and off the base. Remarkable effort by Sean. He'll never let up, and it's a base hit. The 13th of the night for the Clinton LumberKings. Casey Benjamin reaches on a base hit through the box. 2,391 with us this evening. Meet Bob, Julie, and I here tomorrow for the Milling Company's Salute to Our Armed Forces. The Kernels will be donning camouflage jerseys with red numbers and red letters on the front. Combination of sand and jungle colors, green and brown. And you can bid on those jerseys thanks to the Milling Company. And boy, I'll tell you, you walk around the block in one of those camouflage Colonel jerseys from the Milling Company, and everyone will salute you. They will take pride in your support of not only our armed forces, but of our Colonels. A throw to first, and Benjamin is back.
Well, let's hope those unis have some extra base hits. And
that would be nice if the Colonels could march to a different tune tomorrow. A high fly ball, lazy hit into shallow left. Sean Rodriguez is back about 20 feet into the grass in shallow left, and Sean brings it down. Brandon Cashman is 0 for 5 as he pops to short. It's a 6-2 lead here in the top of the ninth inning for the visiting LumberKings. Their record on the road is 21-23 overall. In the second half, they're 3-6 on the road. If they win tonight, they'll pull into a tie for third place with the Kernels in the Western Division second half standings. Tug Hulett takes high. Boy, it's hard to believe this ball club was reeling 6 wins in a row off and then let a lead slip away Saturday night in Davenport, and we haven't been the same since. A chopper to second could be a double play. Sutton gloves it, tags the runner going from first to second. Then Nate throws out the batter, Tug Hulett. Heads-up play by Nate Sutton, who starts a 4-3 inning-ending double play. In the ninth, off Chris Waters, no runs. A leadoff infield single by the number 9 hitter, 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors, a double play. The second double play turned by, or the first double play turned by the Colonels tonight, and nobody left for the LumberKings.
Interesting to see that Clinton did not try and advance the base runner to second, and then with 1 out, have 2 at-bats to try and drive in yet another run. Remember, the last run you score is sometimes the most important one, even though it's 6-2 Clinton right now. So it's whatever suits your fancy as a manager, and that's the way the game has developed here tonight.
Well, let's hope the Colonels have a big rally in them this evening as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Clinton leads the Colonels 6-2, and you're enjoying Colonel baseball in the zone.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Jen. What's up?
Your hair looks great. Did you get it cut?
Sure did. I went to Cost Cutters.
Wait, are those highlights?
Yeah, I've always wanted to try.
Interesting.
It looks really good. Thanks. Don't you just love how you can stop into Cost Cutters anytime and get a great cut or color?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to plan out the next month of your life to fit in a haircut. Right. With Cost Cutters, you can go after work.
Yeah, on weekends.
Hey, on your lunch break, it's great when you forget you have like an afternoon meeting.
You are such a procrastinator.
No, I am not. Okay, maybe I am.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, are those chestnut or caramel highlights?
I don't know what color they are. All I know is that it looks good. Cost Cutters is the only salon for me.
You should be like the official spokesmodel for Cost Cutters.
Spokesmodel.
Hey, exactly. Don't you think? Working on it.
Oh, guys, come on.
Work a little.
Stop into your neighborhood Cost Cutters anytime. Convenience is Cost Cutters' trademark. Cost Cutters, just your style. Cost Cutters is proud to support Eastern Iowa's most wholesome, affordable family entertainment. Cedar Rapids Kernels Baseball.
My son and I are lactose intolerant, but we can eat all the dairy we want all day long.
And for that, I'd like to thank the people who make Digestive Advantage LI. By taking just one Digestive Advantage LI tablet a day, we can drink milk, eat pizza, and enjoy ice cream without worrying about feeling uncomfortable. And I don't have to worry about what my son eats when I'm not around to watch him. One tablet a day and we get all the calcium we need because we can eat all the dairy we want, thanks to Digestive Advantage LI.
Feel the advantage of Digestive Advantage LI. Available at drugstores everywhere.
Another indication how this game of baseball has vastly changed. The Kernels trailing 6-2, open up the bottom of the ninth, and Freddy Sandoval, first pitch swinging, pops it up to short. One pitch, one out here in the bottom of the ninth inning as Richard Giannotti bats, and a strike in from the Hawaiian right-hander Paul Kamatani. Freddy was trying to reach for the fourth straight time, so you can't blame him for being aggressive, but it's tough to swing on that first pitch when you're down, and here's a swing and a tipped foul into the middle of the catcher. Richard Giannotti in a hole, 0-2. 6-2 in favor of the LumberKings before a crowd of over 2,390. Richard tonight is 0 for 3. And he wraps one past first, off the first baseman's glove, into the right field corner. Extra bases for the G-Man. He's rounding second, and he'll hold on there with a one-out double. The first Kernel extra base hit of the evening is a hard-hit smash that Ian Gack found too hot to handle at first base.
And for Giannotti, his 13th double of the year. So the Kernels do get a man on, even though they trail 6-2 with one out in the ninth.
All right, let's see if Jordan Renz can keep it going. Jordan is 0 for 3 so far this evening. Facing Kamatani for the first time tonight is Jordan Renz. He takes outside, ball one. The Kernels at home this season are 25-23. And fought so hard to finally get over the 500 mark at home.
And for Clinton, it's Kamatani or nobody, I guess, because there's nobody down in bullpen.
Ball two taken away by Jordan Renz. Jordan has 6 homers, 32 runs driven in. He started tonight batting an even 200. Giannotti at second, a big gap in right center for Jordan Renz. He hits the ball well there. And he slices the pitch foul, or off the end of his bat, foul down the right field line. A sliding effort by Billy Suzdorf in foul ground, and it drops just beyond the right fielder's reach at strike one on Jordan Renz. .640 is our South Slope Communications Triple Play show time tomorrow evening. And remember, following Kernel action, you'll hear Scott Unash with Hawkeye Downs Racing tomorrow evening.
Ronnie Ray, a right-handed pitcher, is tomorrow's probable for Cedar Rapids. Interesting in the notes tonight that Michael Schlack, who will probably be the winning pitcher in this game, is listed as tomorrow's pitcher, too.
Double duty, swing and a miss by Jordan Renz.
And the way he pitched tonight, it might as well be. He only threw 79 pitches.
He was in command in his 7 innings, giving up a run on 5 hits. It's 6-2 Clinton. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Kernels have Giannotti at second. The 2-2 to Jordan Renz. Swing and a tip foul into the glove of the catcher, and that's the second out. Jordan Renz down swinging for the second out of the 9th inning. Now Warner Madrigal will bat against Kamatani. Warner reached on an infield single and scored back in the 3rd inning to tie the game 1-1.
John, here's another problem from Giannotti, the 6th hitter, through Walston, the last hitter in the order. Only 2 hits tonight.
Madrigal swats the first pitch foul over the backstop. It rattles into the sweep to our right. 0-1 to Warner. Yeah, when we were going good, that lower third of the order was giving us production.
That's right.
So we need to rekindle that as well. Boy, did Carl Jellin pitch well tonight. Scattered 10 hits and gave up 3 runs in 7 innings. Madrigal hacks the next pitch foul straight back, and that's strike 2. Jelena wasn't extremely sharp, but he pitched well enough to help the Kernels try to break this 4-game losing streak.
Well, he pitched well enough to be a winning pitcher.
Yes, he did.
This was what they like to call these days, a quality start.
Most definitely it was. Ball 1 in the dirt, a changeup from Paul Kamatani. This is not a save situation for the round-shouldered, 6'4" right-hander. There's a big gap in left center for Warner Madrigal. Brandon Cashman playing way around into right center. And a swing and a miss on a high fastball, and that does in the Kernels, who lose their 5th in a row. Warner Madrigal down on strike swinging. In the 9th inning for the Kernels, no runs. 1 hit. There were no Clinton errors, and the Kernels leave a runner. We stranded 6 in sinking to our 5th loss in a row. Well, the fluctuation continues, or the up and down second half. The Kernels won 6 in a row, now dropped their 5th in a row, and their record stands at 11-10. Clinton has now beaten the Kernels 4 out of 6 times here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Bob will have the game recap as our first segment of the Colonel Curtain Call in just a little bit. Clinton 6, the Kernels 2. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Kirby, the recycling mascot, wants you to take a bite out of landfill space by recycling cardboard. It's easy. Cardboard should be flattened, tied and bundled in 2x3 foot bundles, then placed next to the blue recycling box for curbside collection. Your friends at Solid Waste and Recycling want to thank Cedar Rapids residents for their continuing efforts to reduce waste and save landfill space.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' newest full-service landscaping center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowa wholesalers for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road behind Guppy's on the Go. Along with their garden center and brand new floral shop, Cedar Rapids Greenhouses offers a full selection of landscaping products and services. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home improvement efforts. They will work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. If you want to do it yourself, walk through their expansive 4-acre in-town location and choose from a wide variety of trees, shrubs, or blooming plants. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of annuals, perennials, and a variety of magnolias, maples, and lilacs. For the highest quality and wholesale prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's newest garden center, floral shop, and full-service landscapers, corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Roads Northwest.
A new school year means the chase is on. What school will be the best? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy winner. It's simple. The school that rules brings home the hardware. Your school earns points by being the best in all 19 sports programs. Boys and girls, fall, winter, and spring. The school with the winningest programs takes home the coveted Zone Metro Sports Trophy and $500 from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Every sport counts towards each school's total points, and citywide bragging rights are on the line. We'll post the standings quarterly at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. Current stats show Linmar leading the boys contest and Marion holds the top spot in the girls column. Who will come out on top? Kennedy, Jefferson, Linmar, Marion, Prairie, Washington, or Xavier. The Zone Farm Bureau Financial Services Metro Sports Trophy. Only from the home of high school sports. The Zone. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonel's game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Clinton wins the second game of this 3-game series, their second victory in a row, 11-5 last night, and 6-2 this evening. The LumberKings kind of pulled away in the late going despite a very solid pitching effort from Colonel starter Carl Jelena, and it's the 5th loss in a row for the Colonels, who need desperately now to try to turn things around and not dip back to the 500 mark or go below that coveted 500 mark. Bob Brooks, as always, will give us his thoughts and his game recap. And, Bob, take it away. I wish we could sing a happier tune tonight, but there's always tomorrow.
Well, it was a good ball game through 7 innings. It was 2-1 in favor of Clinton, but then the Clinton LumberKings, with the help of the play of the Cedar Rapids Kernels, plated 4 runs, and that was the old ball game to win it by the score of 6-2 with 13 hits, and they had extra base hits tonight, too. Although Carl Jelena pitched well, it was a quality start and a quality pitching performance, but Michael Schlack pitched better. There wasn't any doubt about that. He was in complete command, didn't allow the Kernels much of anything except a few harmless singles, with Rodriguez driving home the 1 run, that in the last half of the third to tie the game at 1. But then Clinton immediately took the lead again in the top half of the 4th inning, moved on from there. Cedar Rapids had a lot of wild pitches and pass balls tonight, and they had errors of omission and commission in tonight's game that drew a berating, I should imagine, from Bobby Magianis when they did not cover second base in that 4-run inning and allowed a runner to advance without any kind of a play. He called the entire infield around him, plus the pitcher and the catcher, and had a little hump session out there at the pitcher's mound. But that being said, the Kernels could not respond and really were out of sync here tonight with a crowd of 2,000 plus at the ballpark, 2,391 to be precise. So in 2 hours and 39 minutes, it was sort of a sleepwalker's performance tonight at the ballpark, and the Kernels went down. They have now spent almost everything of the advantage they had at the start of the second half, all except one game now between the plus side and the even side. One game over 500, the same now as the Clinton LumberKings, also 11-10. So the only thing you can do is, through this losing streak that has now gone to 5, you try and keep the number at 5, and break it tomorrow night in the finale of the series at 7. And let's hope that the fans who come out tomorrow night are a little bit better entertained than the fans were tonight.
Well, Bob, thank you so much. A great wrap-up as usual, and we'll look forward to welcoming you back for the series finale on the Friday night tomorrow evening.
Well, with the salute to the armed forces with the camouflage jerseys, and maybe the whole atmosphere will be better here at the ballpark.
That's what we'll hope for. Bob Brooks, thank you so much. Let's give you the final line score for Clinton: 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors. They stranded 6. The Kernels, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors. We left on half a dozen as well. Michael Schlack evens his record against the Kernels at 1-1. He's now 7-4. Very impressive outing for the 19-year-old 4th-round pick of the Rangers from the Atlanta area. Carl Jelena, as Bob said, pitched very well enough to earn his 6th win of the season. He is now 5-6. Jelena, the loser. The game took 2 hours and 39 minutes, and 2,391 saw the LumberKings win it 6-2. Up next, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Julia Jansen will bring us all the scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
In an interview that can only be described as intriguing, stimulating, and downright impressive, former Major Leaguer Mickey Rivers interviews heavyweight boxer Kevin McBride.
Well, it's going to be a land show, you just better get something like that. I know it ain't going to go no time around in a different zone.
Now that, my friend, was deep. Learn more weekdays on the Dan Patrick Show on ESPN Radio.
When we met, it's forget we would never forget the Oceanos.
Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. Zio Giano's is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember Zio Giano's with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Well, the Kernels stumbled to their 5th straight loss. The LumberKings won it 6-2 this evening, and standing by with the State Farm Major League scoreboard is Kernel broadcast assistant Julia Jansen. It's brought to us by State Farm insurance agent Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Dale Thompson, and Gary Schubat. And Julia, most of our regular listeners know that you're a big Cub fan, and before we get to the State Farm Major League scoreboard, I thought this would be fun for you to know. Do you know where Dusty Baker spent his All-Star break?
Fishing?
Yes, in Galena, Illinois.
Oh, really?
And he visited the River Museum in Dubuque.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's what Dusty did, and he said he came back very relaxed. How did you know he was a fisherman?
Something I know about Dusty Baker, I don't know.
Well, he fished in Galena. There's all sorts of great golf courses, but he fished, and then he visited the National Mississippi River Museum in Dubuque. And let's start on the State Farm Major League scoreboard with the Cubs at Wrigley Field this afternoon.
All right, well, the Chicago Cubs whipped Pittsburgh 5-1. We'll stay in the National League there. Milwaukee crowned Washington 4-2. Philadelphia crushed Florida 13-7. Down at Shea Stadium, the Mets turned back Atlanta 6-3. In progress right now, Arizona is knocking off San Diego 3-0. They're in the top of the 3rd. Turning over to the American League at Jacobs Field, Chicago White Sox edged Cleveland 1-0. At Comerica Field, Kansas City topped Detroit 12-9, a high-scoring game. At Fenway, the New York Yankees trimmed Boston 8-6. And at the Rogers Center, Tampa Bay tamed Toronto 3-0. In progress right now at the Metrodome, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are on top of Minnesota 3-2. They are in the top of the 9th. At Safeco Field, Seattle jumped on top of Baltimore 3-0. They're in the bottom of the 3rd. And at McAfee Coliseum, Texas and Oakland are underway. Oakland has edged ahead of Texas 2-0. They're in the top of the 4th.
Oh, that's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to us by State Farm insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, Lanny Peterson, and Al Shetler. Clinton won this one 6-2, and when we return, we'll have Julia's call of our Access Direct play of the game. Stay tuned. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
1 hour photos, speed dating, DSL for your computer. Everyone's in a hurry these days. Your professional Pekin insurance agent, Scott Draper of Sheets, Forrest, Draper, and Marion, doesn't hurry when it comes to helping you with your insurance needs. Scott will gladly sit down with you and outline a solid insurance program just right for you and your budget. Out of home, business, life, and health. Scott Draper, your hometown Pekin insurance professional in Marion, will give you the responsive, personal, unhurried service you deserve.
Ah, springtime. That time of year when your heating system still runs some, but it's also a time when your air conditioning may be running too. Who do you call when either of them fail? Well, never fear. The A-Team is here. The A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating can inspect and ensure that your heating and cooling system is ready to go when you need it. 24 hours a day, call the A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating. 393-4872. That's 393-4872 for Ahern Plumbing and Heating.
Our third segment of the Colonel Curtin Call puts Access Direct in the spotlight, the sponsor of our play of the game in a Clinton 6-2 victory this evening. Access Direct is hiring, and they are looking for team players. Perhaps you would be a good fit with Access Direct. Let me tell you a little bit about them. It's a fun, friendly place to work, and you don't have to retool your wardrobe to any extent. They want you to dress casually. They encourage that. Access Direct will start you at $8.50 an hour, give you 6 paid holidays a year, and they can set you up on a full or part-time schedule. How many employers now offer medical, dental, and vision insurance? It's a shrinking number, isn't it? Well, Access Direct has medical, dental, vision insurance as well as a 401k savings plan. The only thing left now to do is check them out by calling them at 261-0260. That number at Access Direct is 261-0260, or you can learn about the job and career opportunities by logging on to their website at www.accdir.com. Clinton led this game 1-0 when the Kernels got a one-out single in the third from Warner Madrigal. After Walston struck out, Nate Sutton bashed one off Ian Gack, the first baseman's foot, for an infield single, sending Madrigal to second. That brought Sean Rodriguez to the plate with a chance to tie the game. Let's enjoy our Access Direct play of the game.
A little conference out at the pitcher's mound, and now we're ready to get things started again. First pitch is tapped right down the third base line, stayed fair. Diving play by Emerson Croftsat at third wasn't enough, and that will score the first one for the Kernels, and we have a tie game. So an RBI single for Sean Rodriguez. That is his 17th RBI of the season. And now Warner Madrigal is at third, and Sean Rodriguez is at first.
Yes, Sean Rodriguez with that RBI single, as Julia called it, past third down the left field line, plating Warner Madrigal to tie the game 1-1. Julia, I mentioned in passing for you to mark that spot on your MP3 player, and we're glad it's the play of the game, but we wish it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We wish had more runs.
Exactly. But Julia with our Access Direct play of the game in a Kernel 6-2 loss to the LumberKings. A final thought as we approach the top of the hour. The Milling Company camouflage jersey auction tomorrow evening. And Julia, I think you've seen enough of Kernel baseball this season to know that as well as the RFK Transportation patriotic jerseys went over, as popular as the Iowa Hawkeye jerseys were earlier this season, these Milling Company camouflage jerseys are very, very unique.
They are. They're very nice looking, too. I was down looking at them earlier for the Pep team, and they're nice quality. They're very nice jerseys.
And you can bid on them tomorrow throughout the game. We'll also have our Mercy Care Community Physicians launch a ball for you. That's become a big hit here at the ballpark. Your chance to throw tennis balls out onto the diamond. There are 8 hula hoops down on the diamond after all Friday and Saturday games, and that'll be another reason to come on out and meet Bob, Brooks, Julie, and I here at the stadium tomorrow evening for a 7 o'clock start. Many thanks to Jake Lentz, our in-studio engineer. We're going to bring it back to Jake right before the top of the hour for a Sports Center update. I know Jake will like that. For Kernel broadcast assistant Julia Jansen and legendary sportscaster Bob Brooks, I'm John Rogers, looking forward to meeting you here tomorrow evening. The gates open at 6 for the 7 o'clock series finale against the LumberKings. Clinton 6, the Kernels 2. This has been Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.